back to Rush of Madness. This is session 8, title coordination. Last session, the group intended to go to Victicus's home and speak to him prior to heading to a long rest. When they attempted to knock on the door off screen, they were greeted by no response. And also, as discussed before, it looks like the patrols are still out and about near the crash site. On the skyship. That's it. You return back to the tavern. You rest and level a bunch. Yeah. So great. You awake the next morning. And
I'm ready to fight another dragon.
Let's start slow today.
Might want to break it up just a little.
The dragon? Yeah, that's the point. Or the goal? Is it the goal? It's the goal. Day's yours. I don't have anything to prompt you with. It's,
Yeah.
Albrecht is starting business as normal. The agitators are out and about doing busy work about the town.
Did Albrecht say anything when he came back from Hawk's Roost?
No.
Well, I guess it's time to start finding our way into that barrow, huh?
Seems so.
I believe there's still a few arrangements to be made before we're ready for that endeavor. Not the least of which is we should probably contact the Dwergar if we are prepared to do that.
Okay.
So we're going to rely on them a bit for this?
Well, they certainly have some abilities that could very much come in handy.
That's true.
Not the least of which is being able to turn invisible at will.
Is it safe for us to go out that way with all these patrols and the crash out there?
No, but I imagine it will take a couple days before for the Dwergar to make the trip down here. Certainly, that's in that time. Perhaps the heat will die down, as it were.
Could be. Let me double check
So we didn't check out Victicus's house.
Nobody
He
answered.
didn't answer.
Oh, no one. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be worth a shot to see if he would answer today, but
We could also head out to Tarn ourselves and find out if there's anything. I do not think he is willing to answer anyone.
That's fair.
So, Tarn is this way, and the barrow is this way. So if there's some sort of offshoot tunnels in the mine that lead to the barrow, they would have to cross this entire area.
That's correct.
But mines are usually fairly vast, so.
I mean, it's worth a look, and certainly if there's something there, it might be might be a better way in.
There are
Then,
also less patrols that way, right?
Mm.
Well, at least less burning airship.
True, but
Yeah.
there's probably plenty of patrols between here and Tarn.
Just the two that are currently. Well, no, it's the next day, so you don't know
Yeah.
for sure where they're at.
But they were.
They were on the ship, yeah, looking it over.
Okay.
I think it's the most likely place to check right now.
Are the agitators, are they like sort of reporting into Albrecht?
No, they went out today, so it's early morning, so they're out and about.
Okay.
There's probably less likely to be a dragon in that keep, so maybe that is the best idea.
I mean, yes, I imagine if there was a dragon nearby, it would be more the Denisaphin's problem than ours.
I don't
The
know. That
Zagans don't give a damn.
I mean, that other dragon was the Drugar's problem before it was ours, so I don't know if that matters.
We'll look on the bright side. If we've killed the dragon already, I'm sure we could do it again.
Yeah, I definitely did kill that dragon once. I'm sure I could kill another one. So to Tarn keep?
To town.
I think that's our best bet.
Okay.
Honestly, if
certainly
there's
worth
a
looking
dragon
into.
there, maybe we can send it to the Denisovans and make it their problem.
Gift wrap it.
Exactly.
Mr. Dragon, can you go kill the town? for us.
So, if you happen to head off towards Tarn Keep, what you will know is that just to the west of the town of Carden, there's a grouping of hills just outside, really, what would be considered the wooded area of the region. These hills are more cairn-like than just like kind of rolling hills. So very craggy, very stony. And you would know that the mine is built into a very obvious, very obviously rich structure of stone. Granite on the exterior, old veins that have already been exploited by past civilizations, and then a delve into the earth for those better properties. But this isn't Tarn Keep, this is Tarn Mine, which would be a different pathway. Tarn Keep sits on such a structure high above it with no access. There's no bridge directly up to the keep. The former masters of this place utilized this as the last fence of their civilization before the town of Carden was passed over to the Denisovans about a decade prior. So you would know that even though it was the intent for the structure to be impregnable, it was certainly breached.
Impregnated.
I was going to say impregnated, but it was certainly breached. And you know that would be due in part to the Blusa riders in the original waves. They were able to cliff jump and then get over the walls with rapidity.
Traumatic flashbacks.
But you don't have Blusa. And so what you're basically seeing here is that there is a pathway that leads up to a broken bridge. And that bridge leads across a wide chasm between these two hills, one lower, one higher. The remnants of the bridge in the chasm between, and the still shut portcullis and heavy wooden gate of Tarn Keep remains sealed.
Can we
Yeah,
see
but
to
we're not interested in the keep right now, are we?
You said you were going to Tarn Keep. That's what I heard, right?
No, I thought we were going to the mine.
can we see the bottom of the chasm?
Yeah, double check me though. I just want to make sure I heard correctly. Everybody said they were going to Tarn Keep, right? I'm not crazy, right?
Well, no, we wanted to check out the mine to see if there
We
was.
did say tar and keep. I think there was
We did.
confusion as to
Yeah,
the.
we did
There
say
are
Tarn
two
Keep, though.
Tarn
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
so-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just to make sure I'm not a
Alright.
crazy person.
You're
you
not.
said
You're
keep.
not.
That's what you're seeing.
Keep
and the,
was said, but I think
Yeah.
mine was the intent.
then I will rewind and explain nothing to you about the Tarn Keep, and you are not even there. If your intent was Tarn Mine, you'll note that they're not like right next to each other, despite having similar names. As I mentioned, it's a very craggy area, and some of the spaces are not ground level. Like sometimes the crevasses in between these spaces dip into what you would call the earth, with kind of swells of empty space, or sometimes filled with water from runoff from the rivers, and also from heavy storm seasons. But you went to the mine. Before you arrive at the mine, you would see that there is a broken up town in between Arden's center, Midtown, and the mine proper. This place would be very familiar to the ghost of Tarn, who has a residence in this space. And bear with me while I try to. Why is my computer being a jerk?
The good news is, if we need to lay low, or have ourselves a rest, we got a place to stay.
We don't do that resting thing here, Chad.
So I believe this is the second time.
Maybe you don't, but I live here.
I believe this is the second time you've been out this way. Is that accurate? Or we discussed it in the
We
previous-
discussed
We
it.
just
This is the first time.
Yeah.
So then I will shift some degrees here. Wait. What in the devil? There we go.
What in the nine hells is that?
All right, fixed. Okay, so obviously you've been here before and have some sensibility of what it's like in the space, Chad. So you would know that the mine is to the west. There is a road that heads into the hills, Tarn Hills, between here and the keep. The path to the north, if memory serves, double checking my notes here. Mine to the south is the keep, to the north is a path towards the Ragnith River, which is kind of winds in its own kind of stony area. As you saw, the bridge on the north side that leads to the isle where the larger bridge is located is kind of set inside of kind of higher rocky hills as well. But here you are.
I'm sure Glint has kind of been through all the other buildings, and there's nothing of interest here. So he goes ahead and he kind of points out the building he's been staying in. He says, "If we need to lay low, we can hold up in there. But for now, the mine's this way." And he continues on.
Okay.
Do you have a map of the mine in there?
Unfortunately, I was unable to acquire one, although I did look. That certainly would have been very useful, but unfortunately, no. It looks like anybody with that kind of knowledge or preparedness, they took their maps with them when they left.
Well, I guess we'll have to make our own.
What
I can do that.
Astrogoth, you would notice is that there is a well. There's actually a pair of wells in this space. There appears to be
Well.
a
You beat me to it. God damn it.
grate, like a grate that's on the main thoroughfare, and the ground here appears to be well cobbled. Like it's not just loose earth like the Midtown region. Looks like there was actually some effort on bricklayers and the like to kind of create a space that was easily traversed. You can see the grooves in the road where the wagons from the mine kind of exited, moved towards the keep, or moved towards the town, or moved to the north towards the Ragnith. And you kind of have a semblance of this space before its demise, which was very early on in the conflict, was kind of not a very large heart of commerce, but a decent one. That said, there being a sewer grate there would betray that there's probably something beneath this space, as Glint and Orlandis head on towards the mine.
Yeah, I'll point that out, and I'll be like, well, given the, I mean, we know that there's tunnels running everywhere around here. Maybe it would be worth checking out to see, sorry, where this leads to. Maybe it would be an alternate route that we could take, or something to that effect.
So what do we have? Do we have any sort of I mean, what have we learned that has implied that there could be a way to get into the barrow from the mines, or is this just, are we just operating on faith and curiosity? Was somebody provided a rumor? I'm trying to remember how we like what exactly.
I'm not trying to direct anybody, so I'm definitely.
No, I'm just wondering if there was an NPC that mentioned something to somebody.
Yeah, I don't have anything in my notes on that specifically, actually, now that you mention it.
Or if we're just kind of grasping at straws here.
There was reference to. I can't remember who it was specifically, but I know that somebody presented the option that there may be tunnels running through and under the town, and we did see that there was evidence of some kind of structures underneath the orchard in the prologue session that suggests that there is something below the town at some point.
Okay.
But there may have also been, it may also be all filled in because it looked like the structure that was at the bottom of the hole had earth basically completely consuming it.
Okay.
Well, not to mention we kind of flooded some of it. Cough, cough.
Yeah, because I'm also wondering if these sort of tunnels we're looking for, if they could possibly cross into the sewers. Should we start looking in the sewers and just forget the mines, or should we start in the mines and just be very thorough and kind of work our way back?
I mean, we could work our way back through the sewers as well.
That's true.
Do we need to flip a coin? World's our oyster.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, there could be stuff of interest in the mines.
I am interested in checking out the mines. Mostly, I do not want to go into the sewer. It is
Too
deadly.
messy for you?
Yes.
Last time I was in the sewer, I was picking things out of my fur for weeks. It was disgusting.
And plus, there may be metals we can take back.
Perhaps.
I mean, if they're not using it, it might be dried up.
I say if we do not find anything of interest in the mines, we can certainly explore the sewers on our way back.
I mean, doubt they're going anywhere. To the
Uh,
mines?
I'm sorry.
To the mines?
Yes, yeah. As you said, the sewers will be here when we return.
Okay, so if you head down the road, you would see that the structure I mentioned, the kind of larger, stone, is present. It does look like there is a worked path that leads up to it, and upon seeing it, you'd see that there are segments where it looks like there might have been rail that was present, but it looks like they have been pulled up. The rotting wood kind of still present, but the actual metal, be it from the spikes or from the actual rails themselves, has been removed. The passageway in is barred. There are very large timbers. Some of them appear to be railroad ties that have been placed up and stacked on one another and hammered with railroad spikes into the sides of the entrance. And then a sign has been posted on the exterior that's written in 3 languages. Looks like it is written in Common, looks like it is written in Dwarvish, and it looks like it is written in Denisopin. It says the same thing each time. Haunted.
Don't like that.
Castillo, you wanna fight a ghost?
I mean, are those tougher or are those easier than a dragon?
Depends.
And-
Glint kind of looks at Orlandis for a second, and then he points at the sign. And he says, "It was like that when I got here."
Does haunted also mean there might be vampires?
Not typically.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, we should be all right. We should be. Yeah.
Is it possible for us to unbar it with the crowbar?
Yeah, it'll take some time, but certainly.
Who has a crowbar?
I think Glint has a crowbar.
I sure don't.
I thought the Explorer's Pack comes with one, but it doesn't.
Nope.
Yep, Glint has a crowbar. And he has a +5 in athletics. So I'm not sure if anybody has a higher athletics.
Get to Brian.
Somebody would like to help me, or I can help somebody else.
Orlandis will help you.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength athletics check. Because you're using the crowbar, you have advantage.
Oh yeah, so I don't need help. That's an 18.
Okay, so without assistance, you'd be doing it for longer. I'm assuming you keep the assistance even though mechanically you functionally don't need it. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Orlandis and Glint get to work. About 2 hours pass before they're able to get enough of the material off to allow access for the smallest of your group.
Now, is there any sort of gap towards the top?
No.
Okay, it's completely top to bottom.
So what you would note about the structure is that the top of the mine entrance, the entry to the shaft, looks like it was well built with wood timber to keep the rock structure above up so it wouldn't descend. And they use that kind of wooden archway and the archway on the sides to frame up the stacking. And so when you started pulling the tines, you probably started from the bottom, because starting from the middle would be harder, and kind of move them out and away. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that,
Does anybody have a shovel?
No.
Okay.
digging would have been harder.
Well, I mean, we can, now that we've got a small opening at the bottom, we can sort of excavate it to make it
Pulling the
larger.
last pine to make it so everyone can kind of crawl through isn't going to be too much trouble. I'm just saying that the 2 hour mark is where you kind of get it to the
I
point
got
where
you.
you have access. If you want to send somebody in before you finish the last removal of the time, which is not going to require a roll or anything, then you can do that. But I'm just saying that that's the time frame we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the smallest individuals would probably be Balgar or Lose.
Not Valgar.
Yeah.
Either Cassia or Lose.
Yeah, Balgar's
Balgar's thick.
he big boy.
Big boy.
Yeah, he's short but wide.
And I don't think it's any secret after our adventures through Blaze Hatchet territory that Castia can see uncannily far in the dark, so she'll volunteer to kind of shimmy through to survey kind of what's on immediately on the other side.
So inside of the space, bear with me here.
You have that extra dark vision.
I can see for fucking ever.
It's like you go inside and you're like, whew, it's bright in here.
I'm trying to clean up my space a bit here. Bear with me here. I should have did this before.
You
We
go.
definitely have a lot of maps that we're not using still on offer in my space, so I just need to quickly cover that up. Feel free to banter.
I gotta say, John, I think space is your most used D&D word, or DMing word. Period.
Just so much fucking space.
Got so many options.
Secretly want to run
Spelljammer, yeah.
Not really though. Every time I run
Look
a
at how
Spelljammer
much-
game, it always
Look at how much space you can fit in this space.
it always ends the game. So like if I'm running a game and it's like, okay, we're going into Spelljammer, that game is over. The game is over. I'll run it for a couple of sessions and I'll just be like, man, well,
I fucking hate space. Let's go.
fuck
Let's go to
space.
Cyberpunk.
Okay. So
I mean, I know exactly what he's talking about because I'm kind of running into it too.
oh
Oh
god.
no.
Where it's like you set the stage, but then it's like everything past the stage is just like it's like fog of war.
Chaos.
Too much. Too many options.
It's too open ended.
God, I mean, we struggled with
choice
the options of a
paralysis.
fucking town, let alone all of a universe.
True that, true that.
Bear with me here.
Fair.
Sorry.
You're good. We're bantering.
There's so much shit that.
I'm gonna tell
Like,
Joe that you
very
thought
dumb.
that Balgar was skinny.
There's so much shit my
You
character
thought
in
he was a
chat's
slender
done.
dwarf.
He beak.
What the hell? Okay, so having some asset issues, on top of everything that's happening. So give me a couple more moments here. Sorry, thank you.
You're
Okay.
good. Roll 20s.
Take your time.
Dum dum sometimes.
Who's hyped for the tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be fucking hard. Who's excited for Cyberpunk?
Yeah, you got a lot to
Shit.
look forward to.
Scared of shit for the next session for Cyberpunk.
So
What is
sorry, Jonah.
happening?
I whole ass killed an exec in his building.
I need some
You killed
info
his
from.
building?
I didn't kill his
No,
building.
Well, no.
Kind of.
Dan killed the building.
Yeah.
It was
No.
Not me.
No, that's a separate building. The exec that Mr. Johan killed somebody in
Yeah.
was the SSI building.
Yep.
Somebody killed a building. That is true.
Just
Yeah.
ate his whole face.
It did happen. That is-
Both happened, just separately.
Before you die, I need some info. That's all.
okay. I think I
I
have.
can
That was
try.
to Johan, not Letty.
Johan can try.
I think I have it.
I forgot to add. I forgot to add for what's his name? Vernon. I forgot to add to blame Billy for everything.
I'm gonna fight this whole computer. I don't know what's going on with Roll20. Every time I load up one of the pages, and I'm trying to reassess the assets, it's just saying, "Oh no, yeah, there's no image." So I don't know
Harold.
That's weird.
what happened.
Beat its
here.
ass.
Have you tried telling it that no, you're not an image?
It's probably just an issue with my browser.
Listen here,
Which browser are
mister.
you using?
I always use Chrome.
Have you tried opening it in Netscape Navigator?
I wish I had Netscape Navigator. That's not
I
a
use
go.
Firefox.
I'm not gonna ever use Firefox though. I just don't like the name.
Okay.
Jonah, was that the first time that you ever heard the two words Netscape Navigator mashed together?
It actually is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You're
Um,
He's
like
12.
12.
yeah, that's right.
4 years old.
Yep. I'm but a baby.
Okay.
Jonah's probably younger than MySpace.
No, I had it. I mean, no, I'm not.
When you were a
Well,
toddler, you
it's
got a
MySpace.
MySpace page.
Yeah. I was like 7 months old. I signed up.
They were letting anybody on there.
What music did you have playing on your MySpace page at 7 months old, Jonah? Some sweet Wiggles music? What'd you got?
No, Wiggles
Banana
is too
phone.
old for me.
Banana.
I had
Some Raffy?
I had Teletubbies.
Goddamn. Fuck. Shit.
Jonah, you just
Every
gotta make
time.
Roll20 work because the longer this goes, the longer.
Okay, I think.
Had Teletubbies playing, and all of it was.
Oh my god.
I think I got it.
Then all of a sudden, there was a sun with a face and shit. Oh,
Wasn't the
that
sun
just
with
blew my
John's face
mind.
in it?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
oh wow, that's
Probably.
You said, and the son said, would you like to play D&D?
No, that's not what the sun says.
Show
the sun
me what
says,
you got.
"Oh,
Yeah, nice.
do you touch that?
That.
Oh, do you do that?
Do you open the door?
So you touched it, right?"
You grabbed it, right?
So you go in the room. Are you sure?
Are we playing a mud?
North.
Hell yeah, and
You sure you want to pick that up?
Said you picked it
can't-
up though, right?
It's a family game.
It's rated E for everyone.
That was from like an old, I think one of the Space Quest games, Sierra. Like if you tried to use an item on yourself, it would just say, "You can't do that. This is a family game."
I don't remember that.
oh my god, love everything. Okay, almost
Cool.
done.
I
No problem.
remember Facebook games.
Swearsies.
My mom still plays Facebook games.
That's wild.
My dad still plays Diablo 2, and I'm not talking about the remake.
Hey man,
Yeah, the original.
Fair.
Jonah, I think I actually found Avran's Twitter account. Hold on, let me.
Oh shit! Send that shit.
Okay, this is gonna be pitch black.
It worked. It's pitch black.
Okay, great. And Cascade was going first, right?
Yes, yes.
Great.
I feel like that was an "Are you sure?" question, so I don't know how this is gonna go, but
Why does he feel the need to say that? So many, like, repeat that factoid?
Okay, do you see
I don't
anything?
know, man.
Like, oh man, it's a slow day on Twitter and I've
Just
got no
gotta
fresh
remind
ideas.
people.
I see my token and nothing else.
Okay.
Well, you got me beat. I don't see anything.
Mm.
As
There.
you shouldn't. How about
All right, yes, I can see some things.
now? Okay. So the entrance, you would see up ahead. It looks like there is on the ground segmenting where the rail has been removed, as I described. But up ahead, it looks like you see a wooden, effectively turntable, kind of settled into the ground with two posts that look like they're used to manipulate the table. Looks like 3 other rails up ahead, yeah, looks like a entrance to a mine. Your dark vision allows you to see quite far.
Yep.
And you do get some traces of sunlight coming into the space from possibly holes up above. But
Okay.
you also kind of get a very eerie vibe from the space, as the ambiance of this chamber is kind of a low rumble,
Hmm.
like there's something kind of moving or gyrating or pulsating inside of the space.
I can, on the map, I can see like a bridge and
You can see a
river.
bridge, but you don't see the
Yeah,
you don't see the river because again,
sure,
it's down.
of course, yeah, it's down. Do I hear the
That's
sound of
probably what
moving
that
water?
sound that I mentioned is. It's kind
Okay.
of like almost mechanical, but at the same time, kind of
Yeah.
strangely natural.
Yeah, it's it it looks like this goes on for a long way, and I see a bridge. It feels weird in here. I mean, not like dragon weird, but weird. I'm
What
gonna
can you see?
railroad tracks, a bridge, spooky rumbling. I mean, I hear that. Yeah, it's pretty wide open in here.
You want me to come in there and make sure you're safe?
Probably, yeah. I mean, Balthild will be real mad otherwise.
All right, move over.
Probably should have gone home last night.
Let's say we'll crawl in there.
Okay. So if you kind of enter in a bit, I will go ahead and bear with me here. Dynamic lighting barrier restrictions. Say. You enter in directly behind, and you see as far as you can see, and you see what you see.
Great.
Music's making me uncomfortable.
Good.
I think it's meant to. Yeah. Looks
Working
like
as
a
intended.
mine. Is there any way to help open up the mine from
Well,
this side?
again, like I said, it wasn't going to take very
Yeah.
long for Glint and Orlandis to
Yeah.
pull the last
Oh, okay.
tie off of the wall or off of the portal. So as you're kind of moving through, you can hear the thump as they kind of push it aside. Again, the
great.
main thing is obviously pulling spikes out of wood is probably not a huge issue.
Yeah.
I think everybody here can agree. Maybe a couple minutes worth of work. You got a crowbar. You're pulling at it. Great. The problem is lifting these somewhere near 750 to 1,000 pound like blocks of wood that have been stacked on top of each other to form a barrier. So that was more the hard part and the time-consuming
Okay.
part.
True
But they're
that.
strapping folks, and they handled it. So as you kind of move it aside, Lose and Cassia, if you want to move into the complex proper, you may. And then I'll go ahead and start putting people behind in the order that they start saying that they'll go. And we got a Joe.
Hello.
Joe.
Cool.
Glent will be right behind Lose.
I'll move in.
And then do one of these.
I can't move my token anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, I
no.
put you on a wall. I know. How about now?
Yes. Yeah. Don't worry, I won't go through walls.
Who is next on the
Meta
docket?
gamer.
I think Chad said.
Yeah, behind Lose will be Glent.
All right.
There's some room up here. We can all kind of get in.
I can go in after Glint.
Absolutely. So real quick, as we kind of shift you forward and put an Astrogol here, you folks who enter into this space, like I described, you see the track switcher in the middle of the space. You see that there's tracks that lead to the west. You see that there are tracks that lead to the east. It looks like they go over a bridge. You see a small passageway that looks like it heads towards, it heads down, and you'd actually see that it leads towards what looks like a creek bed down at the base of it. Looks like the waterway is probably about 3 feet below the bridge, and so the kind of upscale underneath the bridge is kind of off the water a bit, so there's a little bit of a drop. But at the point where it goes down to the right, in that kind of back corner there, it descends far enough so that it's like almost right on the water. If that makes sense.
Okay, is this map oriented correctly?
You entered in
Okay.
through the south entrance, and you see that there's a pass that leads down into the earth on the left. It looks like there is more passageways that lead up to the north and on to the other side. And like I was saying, it looks like there's also light, sunlight, coming in from somewhere over around here and also directly above you. If you look up,
Okay.
you would see that it's kind of like a volcano, like flue. Basically, it's just kind of stone that's kind of more porous and has allowed for kind of
Fresh
venting.
air.
Volgar, being a dwarf, would know that the technique that seems to have been implemented here is dwarvish fluing, which is specifically done to allow for air access into mines. So they heat rock and jut it upwards or drop it downwards, depending on what orientation they have on the hill or space that they're building a mine in, to create holes using superheated rock to create cavities.
So, from our location, the barrows are to the southeast.
Correct. So it would be east or south is the direction you'd want to go to start. The water appears to be flowing in from the north. If you get a peek at it, it's not moving super fast or anything. It's kind of just a low burble. But it seems to be what's generating the ambiance, which is kind of a strangely present, just rumble inside of the space. And when I say rumble, it's kind of more like, imagine you got your dishwasher going, but it's all over the house. Like,
So-
that sound is going everywhere.
And where's the mill located in relation to the mine?
That way. It's all that way. Again,
It's all to the southeast.
yeah, unless you have, like, a map, you're not really going to be able to tell exactly where everything is located in relation to where
Yeah,
you
I
are.
don't need like an exact location. I just need
It's
general
that way.
direction.
Ish.
Yeah, then we should definitely explore the sort of like the southeasterly direction first.
Okay. Though say if you
Down
kind of make
this
your way
way?
toward the water, you're seeing in low light, so you don't really have like a light source that's active, right?
Right.
Castria will, once everybody gets inside, probably put light on Orlandis' shield because you can't see in the dark, right?
I can.
Nope.
No, Orlandis can't though,
Oh,
so there will at least be
Orlandis, yeah.
some light source. And
Orlandis is coming in.
Can I has token?
You haven't come in yet because you were obviously
Okay.
backlining because you.
Right on.
No worries. But regarding the light casting, 2020, right? 20 dim 20, right?
Yeah.
Just double making sure. Should be generating light now.
Okay.
And if
I
you're
can see.
gonna move into the space, I'll go ahead and throw a ball out there too.
Okay.
It's awesome. Everybody can see okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, yeah, let's say you make your way down to the waterway. When you get there, you would see something kind of shining. Well, you wouldn't see shining because you don't see. That was why I asked if you were seeing dark. You would see something that doesn't look like it is stone, kind of laying near the water. And as you kind of look down at it, you realize it appears to be a hand, completely just skeletal, with something on its ring finger, kind of stretched out of the water and on the shore, like it was reaching up out of the water and kind of touching the shore.
I don't like that.
That's spooky. Orlandis, can you come over here and give me some light?
It goes over and gives the light. Right there, I guess. Like, is the water like? Can we stand in the water, or is it too deep?
do you stand in the water?
I mean, yeah, the age-old adage of the dungeon master. You can certainly try. So, due to the water's movement, it's not terribly fast or anything. You would expect to be able to see the bottom. It does look like there's a large amount of sediment inside of the water, so it's very. Why does my brain always forget the word that means you can't see through it? Opaque.
Cloudy.
Translucent.
Translucent's the
This is
see-through.
opposite.
Opaque. is the-
Anti-translucent.
It is anti-translucent. It is opaque. It has
Opaque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Opacity.
I'll start stepping through slowly and make sure I have even footing.
Okay. You put your foot in the water and there is no footing. There doesn't
Oh.
appear to be anything kind of like it seems the shore goes kind of towards it and then it seems to kind of fall off. If you look across the way, you can see that about 3 feet up is where the rock kind of starts, and it looks to be like a sheer drop into the water.
Oh.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
looking
How
at
high
it
is the
more
Catches
closely,
his
you'd
arm.
also see what looks like tooling marks. Like this isn't a waterway that was natural, like it was formed by mechanism.
how
Gotcha.
high is the ceiling?
In this space, it varies. It does look like it has some points where it's only about 8 feet high, and that's due in part to the structure that is kind of holding up the stone, kind of being built down away from the tops. And you'd also note that in other spaces, it's much, much higher. But it does look like whoever built the mine has taken efforts to kind of create kind of vaulted struts or kind of formations to kind of hold it up.
But it's like but it's like continuous. There's no big breaks in the ceiling.
Right. It doesn't
Okay.
look like there's much inside of kind of the raftering or anything, like where anything could kind of be up there or hiding.
So I could climb up the wall and across the ceiling and down the other side.
You certainly could.
There's
Okay.
a bridge over here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's also true.
There's 2 bridges.
Glenn's like
Uh,
Glenn's like hanging upside down from the ceiling when he hears that, and he says, "Huh."
I mean that's a cool trick if you want to do that. I mean, but there's a bridge.
Castia, because of your positioning, go ahead and make a perception check as you're kind of remaining cautious.
It's also a terrifying question. 21.
Yeah, so you see what look like 3 humanoid figures kind of plop out of the water onto this shore here and start moving to the east. It's very sudden, and with the 21, you can make out that their top halves are much larger than their lower halves, and they have kind of like an almost Piscatarian kind of top portion. They move quickly from here to here, and there's actually a moment where it seems like they blur out of your sight line. Like you see them, and you can see them pretty well with the water kind of dropping off of them, and then they seem to just kind of fade into like the darkness. And you're looking at this in dark vision with the twilight sight, right? Okay.
Yeah.
spooky.
Does Glent see that hand with the ring?
It's by
You
me.
wandered on over the thing, so probably
Yeah.
skipped it. Yep.
Oh, I
Um,
thought it was on that. I thought it was on the opposite side.
No,
which
it's on
is
the
why-
side that Losey's on. She walked over to it, looked down at the hand. Yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
I wanted Orlandis over there
Okay.
to come over. to
Orlandis
get
kind
more
of steps
light.
in the water. Losey, in that process, you watch as Glint kind of maneuvers over top of the two of you, and you're kind of looking at the hand. You wish to
Mhm.
check it.
Yeah.
It comes up, but it looks like it comes up at about the elbow. Looks like the rest of it seems to have been bitten off very
Huh.
harshly. You can actually see the breaks in the bone, and long since gone is the marrow from within, either consumed or just kind of deposited out into the water, maybe some of the sediment. But yeah, the ring on it
Pretty
appears to be a
haunted.
signet ring. And the signet ring in question denotes that this individual was a member of the Tarn family.
Castia will be about to yell something out, and then she'll remember what happened every time she yelled something out the last time she was underground. She'll stop herself, and she'll kind of like hurriedly come back around over here to run down to Losey and Orlandis and be like, I saw there were fish that they were over there, and then I think ghosts. You said there are things here. I saw them and then I didn't see them, and normally I can see everything in this kind of space, but I couldn't see them for a second, and they went east. They went that way. There were three of
So they're fast.
Just to catch up, everyone. Balgar, Astrogoth, you do see Cassie kind of maneuvering, kind of like in a hushed, quiet way to where Lose was. You two are kind of still in that center space, and again, just recycling. To the west, it looks like there's a cave descent downwards, like into the deeper portion of the mine. They went towards the waterway, bridge, another turntable, and a microphone up Chandra ways. That said, what do you two want to do? And also, yeah, sorry, the flue above you, kind of with sunlight depositing down.
I would be wandering very slowly and paying attention to a lot of detail around me, like the manner in which this place was carved out, what they're using for supports, just like general curiosity things. But
you would know for certain that it's not completely 100% dwarvish in technique or in implementation here. Definitely looks like this was a joint effort between dwarves and some other folk. But yeah, the telltale signs of dwarvic craftsmanship in kind of the generation of a mine are present. Hell, the steel of the rails definitely looks dwarvish. The switch table, dwarvish. The flue above you, dwarvish. But a lot of the structuring that kind of keeps the stone off of your head, not dwarvish. If a dwarf was going to form the mines and create them more solidly, a stonesmith or shaper would just make them more solid. No need for wood, but apparently they didn't have a means of getting a stone shaper here. The humans or whatever peoples helped build this mine did what they had with what they had.
very cool.
Glenn, or sorry, Astrogoth, you move up. Looks like you're moving towards the bridge. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I imagine that after hearing about the ring and how it had, or the arm that was coming out, and it being bitten as well as the other commotion, you would probably come to the conclusion that they're not alone down here, and probably be looking around cautiously just to try not to get it jumped on.
Since you specifically said you're looking around cautiously, go ahead and give me a perception check. And I'm assuming you're also trying to utilize your other senses. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
You got a 20. Okay.
20.
So you do hear, you don't see anything, but you do hear what sounds kind of like a sound. Like almost like a sloppy kind of wet smacking on stone.
What did it sound like?
The other thing that you pick up with a 20, bugbear senses are not like, too much different than, a regular bug, but something about the air to you smells fishy.
Everyone, I think there's, well, we're not alone down here, that's for sure. I think there might be...
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Shield
Yeah,
is out.
there are things I'd like to do, but I was kind of waiting for.
Oh no, sure. This is kind of all happening simultaneously. You see the hand, so if you're doing something, you're obviously being cautious. So that's the
14
requirement for the perception check. Okay. The sounds in the sense that I've mentioned to your bugbear companion are not anything that Glint is picking up on. You kind of make it to the other side. You do see some boxes. It looks like they've already been ransacked. The materials within have been taken. But you do see that there's an open passageway kind of present directly in front of you. And it looks like there's a kind of walkway along the side of the waterway that kind of heads up to the other side of the bridge. It does also look like there was some construction here that was never finished near the bridge. But yeah, what were you wanting to do?
Well, seeing that everybody else is now like on edge and kind of looking around, Glint's gonna
Except
draw
me.
his what?
I'm back there
Yeah,
talking to
I can't
myself
even
and
see
admiring
Balgar.
the walls.
That's a nice
I'm
rock.
barding.
Glint's gonna draw his weapons and try to hide here.
You're dropping
Sort of
down
like-
on the ground level.
Yeah,
All right.
basically in this nook, but I don't want to go. Oh, there we go.
Okay. So this is the terror that kind of comes forward in this instance. Only one of you. Oh, what happened? Who dropped?
Oh, it looks like
Last
Jonah.
Jonah.
Oh no.
The
God,
wolf.
they already got Orlandis.
That was the guy I needed to talk to too. Damn it.
They already got Orlandis.
The guy I needed to talk to too. Okay, there
Well.
he is.
Oh, the boys.
Let's see. Where does he
Now,
go?
just to make sure I heard you correctly, you did say the terror that comes forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Orlandis, no one else sees this. Not a single other person sees this.
I think he just dropped back
He-
into
yeah,
voice
he-
too. Part of the way through.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Jonah.
Yes.
Orlandis is the only one that sees this.
Okay.
You're the only one that sees this. No
What
one
am I
else
seeing?
sees this. You watch as three fish-like creatures move around the corner in kind of a quick pattern and come to where Glint is hiding. Glint having no idea that they are there. And
Considering I was hiding, did I need to make a stealth check?
no,
Okay.
they don't check for sight. They're not working on that kind of paradigm. But anyway, they come around the corner and start stabbing him with spears. And it looks like, from what you're seeing, Glint has no idea what's happening as these blades come towards him. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. I want to have everybody roll initiative. And I'll go ahead and cue some creepy music, I guess. Let's go.
I
with-
I
Will-
was about to ask.
I
is
will-
anyone-
I mean, the only two people that are in range are Lose and me.
I'm actually going to leave
and
just this going. This is good.
I will elect to take Orlandis's initiative.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
that with-
I haven't rolled
it-
yet.
Is that with advantage?
Did you give me advantage?
It's just assumed because I'm never going to put it on anybody else.
Oh, okay.
All right, then.
Yeah. No, it's just this. It's just a one roll. I should really set it to advantage.
Mm.
Well, it looks like sushi's on the menu.
What's your aura size? 10, is it?
15.
15. Okay,
Right?
that's right.
And Glint's AC is currently 18.
Cool.
That's 15.
Yeah.
That's big as hell.
It's 3 squared.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay.
So trick number 1.
Yeah, 15. Wow.
Like out of nowhere, a net descends upon you, Glint, and it captures you. You take no damage from being hit by the net, but you are restrained. As long as you are restrained in it, you can use your action and make a DC 10 strength check to free yourself from the net. You can also deal slashing damage to the net. You can attack it as an AC of 10. If you deal 5 slashing damage to the net, it's destroyed.
Oh, that's great, considering all my fucking weapons are piercing.
Once they have you restrained, the other 2 will attack with their spears. You hear a sound as they kind of just start moving in to stab you. So hit and hit. Yep, 21 and 23. You will take a total of 18 points of piercing damage.
Okay, I'm going to use my protective field on the first one.
You do not have the ability to do so. Don't you have to have knowledge that the attack is coming in? Didn't we cover
When
this
you
one?
or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage.
Okay. Yeah, I still think that's silly, but yeah, that's fine. We covered that last time. I think I had the idea that it should not be able to block something you're not seeing happen, but whatever. That's fine. Rules is written. Okay. Everybody rolled?
So, how much damage was that from the first attack?
So it would have been
What the
8 on the
Word.
first one and 10 on the second. But you blocked the first one.
Cassia
So-
and Lose are
So you take
going
10.
after Orlandis.
Okay. So I take 10.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So go ahead and roll an initiative so I can put you on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just easier that way in the future. Like, say I'm doing it and then just...
Damn, I shouldn't have. I think we can edit it ourselves. So
Yes.
yeah.
And then Orlandis, as tactician, gets to decide what order those two go in. Castia first, then Lose, or Lose first, then Castia?
You got bumped again. I
Jonah
think.
got bumped again?
Yeah, his. They
Yeah, there's-
heard somebody. Just,
Oh my
What's my-
goodness.
Oh no.
did them damn gators eat your internet down there?
I think so.
Do you want Lose or Castia first in initiative order?
Let's go with Lose.
All right.
Okay.
Am I the first one on deck?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, initiative's all out of order.
I will deal with that in just a second.
Okay.
What's your dexterity, Glint?
It's 18.
Okay.
Yeah, Glenn's first.
So bear with me here. All right. So the creatures during the surprise round have gone. Lose, you do not see them, so you are surprised. And Orlandis, even though you do see them acting came out of them engaging from hidden.
Yeah.
So you too will be surprised.
Okay.
And then Cassia, obviously surprised. Despite being on edge, you didn't know exactly where they were. And so on and so forth, and so on and so forth, until we get down back into the beginning of the initiative. They will attack again. The one...
Now,
Go
since
ahead.
we've gone through initiative, do I get another reaction?
Yeah, your turn has cycled. Correct.
Okay.
So they are going. They've got you a net, so the one who threw the net is shifting and will use their bite attack. And the other two will use their spears as they continue to skewer you. 22 and 19?
Okay.
And the
Yeah,
blind-
19 more.
20 as well. Okay, cool. So then it will be the first attack. You want to... it's when you are damaged, so I would declare the damage, and you would decide whether or not you want to block it. Is that right? By its
Right.
wording? Okay, so you'll take 9 damage.
Protective field.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. And then the next one, you'll take 8 damage.
Okay. Fuck. So that's the first one was 9 reduced by 3.
6. And then
Okay.
add 9. So you'll have 12 total so far. And then the bite's 5. So it'll be a total of 17 after everything's said and done.
Great.
And
Glint's not looking great.
I do want to stress something. The only thing that you can see is your blood hitting the ground and the net that's on you. They are invisible to you.
Even though I have dark vision.
Right.
Okay.
Lose, you are up and they are invisible to you. Orlandis, to reaffirm, who keeps dropping out. God.
It's Jonah again.
Jonah,
I'm here.
don't join the Zoom again.
Okay.
It's just gonna be easier this way, buddy. Your internet's not able to do it, and I'm...
I don't know. Tonight's a rough night for my internet.
That's fair. We'll just do it this way.
Hold on. I think I closed it out.
Yeah, you're
Oh
good.
my god. Okay.
So I can't see
You
them.
cannot see them. You do see that a net
Sorry.
randomly appeared around him.
Shouldn't Glint be going first?
Oh, sorry, yes. It got recycled when I moved. Glint, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The-
Telekinetic movement.
Okay.
Would the net count as an object?
It does, but it's attached to you. So just throw telekinetic movement for me real quick.
Yeah. Where is...
That's a lot.
You can move an object or a creature with your mind as
I'm
an
okay with
action.
that. I'm okay with that. That's fine. So you basically kind of force your mind down on the weights of the net and throw them upwards so that it flies behind you like a cloak being just discarded.
Okay.
Because yeah, the net isn't just like a sloppy pile of ropes. It has weights that kind of bind you down, and you just kind of focus
Right.
on those, throw those up into the air behind you.
I mean, is that the only movement available to me, or could I throw it in front of me?
Yeah, you can throw it in front of you, but since you don't have a target, you can't really hit anything. It just flies out in front of you.
Okay. So free of the net. I'm going to. How high is the ceiling over here?
8 feet. It widen, or it gets higher closer to the water. So it starts at 8 there, kind of moves, grading up to like 9, and then it'll get to about 15 over the waterway.
Okay. And I can't through. Okay. Um. Okay, I'm gonna action surge, take the dodge action, and then I'm going to move up and along the ceiling and try to get as far away as I can. 35 feet of movement.
They'll take their attacks. They have advantage. They have disadvantage because you're dodging. So Biter will go first. That'll miss, and then the Spear Boys. One of the 2 hits. You'll be taking damage. It's a total of 8. Do you want to use your reaction? And I think
Yes.
that's 1, 2, 3,
3, yes.
4, because you also use the telekinetic movement as well, right?
The first use of telekinetic movement is free.
Oh, cool. So
If I use it again, then I need to expend a psionic energy dice.
So we're on 3 then.
Right. So let's see. 2.
So
God
5.
damn it. Fucking Malika!
As you rush up the ceiling and kind of make your way, you would have your full movement. So 5, 10 to go up, so you can move 4 squares like horizontally. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 1.
Your speed's 30 or 35?
35.
Oh, you can move 5 squares horizontally. That's 2 up and then
Yeah, I don't know if the ceiling gets any higher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's 2 up. That's the math I'm
Okay,
doing.
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. So you see his blood kind of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
falling down on the ground for just a moment, and it's literally just a moment. You see like blood hit something and linger there in space for a second and then fade away. What you see, Orlandis, instead is that as the blood falls, it actually hits the weird fish-like creature that's like holding its spear with like bits of like your ally glint on it, and as it's kind of looking up after him, it kind of pulls the spearhead towards its mouth and goes.
So
That's terrifying.
Orlandis can see them.
You sure can.
Okay. Like he sees their googly eyes and everything.
You're correct.
Fuck, that's creepy.
All of the creepy fishmen, you see them. You see the one that threw the net and then just started biting, and then in its turn, we'll see more of that. But then you also see the other 2 kind of just stabbing with the spears and like kind of like a 2-handed fashion. But everybody can hear them as they're stabbing him.
Jesus.
So we
Okay.
can hear them, but not see them.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
If
I'm going to
Orlandis
use
is the
my
only
bonus action to second wind.
Sure.
Why the fuck am I the only one that can see them?
Well, so you're up.
Spooky.
I don't know why you're the only one that can see them. I fucking wish I could.
And this little river channel, whatever we want to call it, it's not like jumpable, right?
It's jumpable. You can jump like a base of like 5 or so feet if you don't have a running start. But in all honesty, you're kind of familiar with the area since you kind of moved into the space the way you did. It would probably be easier for you to just go up and around if you're trying to
Yeah.
get to that side.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm going to.
And I know you didn't say it, but we're going to go with your static cormorant stance. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move to there. That's 35. And then
Could dash, could dodge.
we're gonna dodge with our blade out. Being defensive.
Okay. Cool. Lose done, Cassia, you are up.
Okay.
And again, you can't see
can't
anything.
Can't see anything. So
Shit.
sorry. So Glint got away from them, correct?
It does
Or
look
he's
like he's on the ceiling about 15 feet
Okay.
over. And also another thing is Glint, directly overhead where you're at, there's a patch of light. This is not the same kind of flue that you have. Like, it's not a purposeful channel. This looks like it's more kind of like a natural break in the stone above. And, like, you can see the struts that you're near are kind of heavy with the weight of the mountain above.
Okay.
They're sort of bowing under the weight.
Well, they're not bowing. It definitely looks like they're just supporting. They're not. It doesn't look like there's structural integrity problems on the supports. They're doing exactly what they need to be doing.
Okay.
But it looks like on other places they're not really holding up the weight. It's more that they're kind of like prepared to hold up the weight if there's a dip. This is not that case. They are full on. The rock is split and holding on the rafters.
I got you.
Oh, sorry. And I don't have a scale of how high up Glint
15
is.
feet.
Okay, so okay. Probably about 30-ish then
If you angle
from
it,
me. Yeah. How bloody are you, Glint?
He's bleeding.
He is
Okay.
bloody. He is not bloodied because of my second wind.
Oh, so he healed himself. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I will say, even with all the damage I blocked, Glint still took like 39 points of damage. He took a beating.
Indeed.
Damn, you say that? You say you took 39 points of damage? That's crazy.
We just got in here too.
That's a lot of damage.
Well,
Sorry,
So
that
sorry.
wasn't all in character, but yeah.
So-
I know.
did-
I'm fucking. I'm sorry.
Did I? But I saw a net come.
manifest out
of-
of nowhere and
Okay.
sprawl over the top of our friend Glint, and then
And
you watch
blood start appearing.
blood start shooting out of him, and then you also watched him rushing away as his blood hit kind of like nothing, stopped, and then disappeared.
Okay. You can absolutely tell me this is too metagamey, but I would like to drop Fairy Fire in the area that Glint was in.
It's not metagaming. That's a naturally awesome response. Go ahead and okay, and I will roll dex saving throws for my lads here.
We have the fairy fire thingy, right?
The what?
The template. The boom
Yeah.
boom.
Correct.
I just placed it.
I'm gonna go ahead and remove it, but that's
Oh,
decent enough placing. I
okay.
understood. I do appreciate your desire. The one with the pink marker, you see an outline of the creature that you saw moments ago, kind of moving. You can actually see the like massive head kind of moving in your direction. And in actuality, it just being the silhouette of the Kuatoa or the creature, and it kind of like burning with this kind of whatever color fire you want it to be. You either get blue, green, or violet. Tom?
Violet.
Okay. So there's kind of like a violet flame that's kind of streaking off of this silhouette. That it makes it more intimidating than it probably is if you're just looking at a fish man.
Jesus.
But that one
Now
is,
it's extra ghostly.
that one is no longer capable of maintaining its invisibleness. The other ones seem to kind of maneuver in and against the stone to kind of ward against it, is what Orlandis would see.
I
Cassia
still
done.
see them.
Orlandis, yeah, you see them bright as day. There is
Okay.
no craziness happening here. It's like the light from your thing seems to be just illuminating them in this kind of evil way. But like other than that, it's
Gotcha. Okay. So, what I obviously I need a running jump.
Yes.
So,
Well, you can try and do it like off foot, but I'm just telling you it's going to be an athletics roll, and the DC is pretty high for a, 12-ish foot gap,
Always 10 foot.
but I need a 10 foot for a running jump, right?
20 foot,
Oh, I need 20 feet for running. Ooh.
and you can't have a 20-foot
Yeah,
running
run.
where you run back 10 feet and then run forward 10 feet. I don't allow
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that.
no.
That
no.
doesn't make sense. It's like,
Uh,
You ever
Oh.
tried running? In
I mean,
10
I'll try it.
feet?
if
You
you were Sonic the
barely
Hedgehog, then
start.
allow. So
I
okay,
could-
if you want to just like straight shot jump without any running start, you can go ahead and make your athletics check.
No. I want a running start.
Well,
I'm gonna run to the beginning of this crevice here for 20 feet, and then
okay, and then you're going to
dash
dash.
to make that.
Then
Yeah.
go ahead and make an athletics roll.
Okay. All right. I'm
This
just
is
gonna
not for the
place
jump. The
my
jump is
dice.
going to be cleared. It's for the landing.
Oh, okay. Athletics.
Yeah.
17.
More than. So you land right where you want to, and whatever movement you have left, you can do as you like. And I'll just kind of slot these into spaces so that we know exactly where they're kind of located spatially. That'll be good.
Okay.
But yeah, they all are kind of turning their attention to you. The one that's now kind of wreathed in the violet fire is kind of looking at you intentionally. The one that's wreathed with the violet fire, by the way, does not have the spear. This is the biter.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna use my knight's move on Lose.
Come,
As a bonus action.
quick! I need help.
All right. And again, that gets me
Your speed.
my move, my speed.
Yeah.
My speed.
Your speed. As far as you want to go.
15, 20, so go there. Whoop.
All right,
And
Orlando's
Nice.
done.
Yeah.
Astrogoth, you are up. There's definitely something happening over there. Lose rushes past. You hear the command moving up that way, but again, no idea about. You didn't see the murder.
Right, and I wouldn't have seen the net or anything from this position either, I imagine, right?
Yeah, nothing regarding their movements. Yeah. You can hear
Alright.
Balgar still talking about the walls and how interesting the struts are.
Aye, this wooden beam's unnecessary.
Could have probably just shaped the stone easy. A novice could have done it. Love it. So informative. Oh. Kind of make your way across following after Lose. You see Orlandis standing against a wreath of violet fire that seems to be kind of in the silhouette of a fish-headed person.
Akuatoa.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh no, it is a Kuatoa. I can see it. I'm laying eyes on the
Oh
googly
yeah,
eyes.
and you've fought one before.
We all fought one, didn't we?
Nobody's fought one.
No,
no.
we heard about them.
Yeah.
We knew they were a
I fought
thing.
them in World of Warcraft.
Hey. There you go.
Go ahead and just get that.
I'm gonna do the doot doot.
All right, that's the one that's very fire deployed.
Yes.
All right. Hit.
Ooh.
You have advantage, by the way.
So 25.
And the second attack, you do twice. Do.
Oh right, I'm sorry. I forgot that I rolled twice. I thought I just rolled damage twice. My bad.
Both will hit. Go ahead and click the Eldritch Blast where it'll throw the damage down. Bam and bam. All right. So
Nice.
the
You
bolts
mean
smash
do and
into
do.
the frame. For those of you who are looking at the creature, as these kind of flashes of kind of bright magical energy kind of contact it, you actually see scaly flesh appear from where it hits. And for you, Orlandis, you see the flesh kind of get detonated by the Eldritch Blast, and you can actually see what looks like bruising on the scaling. That's pretty. I mean, it's
That's
a lot.
gnarly.
It looks like it's not in the best of states.
All right.
Flippin' fishmen.
All right. Astrogoth, anything else?
No, that was my move and my turn. So
Balgar, you've heard the fight. You definitely know what's happening, and you make your turn.
Jog as fast as my little dwarf legs can go.
I'm
This
coming.
one. This is the one we see, right?
This is the one you see here, yeah.
I will follow up, listening to the Doots, trying to hold the same note to go with it and follow up.
Do bam! Yeah. And let me see that damage. Pretty sure there's no
Oh, that's
chance.
not it.
If you click the word sharp note in the... Yeah, there you go. So, do bam! And as you kind of send forward from the harp, the strut, it kind of moves between Orlandis and Losay, hits the creature kind of like sideways, like kind of at an angle. And Orlandis, what you see is it split clean in half, like from
Ooh.
here straight down to like the hip. And its top portion kind of falls to the side and splatters. What everyone else sees is a massive pile of blood just kind of appear out of nowhere, splatter all over the ground. And what appears to be like something in a body-like shape blocking it from filling in the entire area at Orlandis' feet.
Orlandis is just gonna look back and say, "Good shot."
Okay, Balgar, done. It goes to them. You can hear they're kind of, you're not sure if it's angry or like afraid responses to that. They look towards Orlandis and seem to have some recognition, like when they're looking at you, Orlandis, that you can see them. So you see them kind of maneuver in such a way that they're kind of avoiding you and moving
Why
on
can he see?
Losay.
I don't know.
And they are going to
He's the
stab
chosen one.
her a bunch. So advantage, both of those will hit. You don't have
God.
any crazy reactions, right?
I don't
Well,
think I do.
Not as unfortunate as Chad was. Definitely a little less damage. The first attack does 9. The second attack only does 4. So it'll be a total of 13.
It's not too bad.
I need to
That's
take
my
2
lucky number.
levels. I need to take.
You got fish blood in you.
I need to get protection.
Glint and Castia, go ahead and make a perception check for free, due to me being kind. And then
Well, they're probably painted quite red.
Glint, you are up
Got a
next.
16.
So you would see what looks like footprints in the blood moving towards Losay. It looks like one set of footprints kind of like shuffle into the blood of the dead creature that you can't see, and kind of obvious looks like she's suffering the same fate you did in the corner. But it's your up, Glint. You're kind of up there, hanging from the
If
ceiling.
I sort of retrace my steps,
Yeah.
can I get here?
Yeah.
Okay. So he runs back across the ceiling and back down the wall. And then just sort of attacks the space above these footprints he was
Okay.
seeing.
So because they're invisible, you can't target them with an attack, so nothing happens. Glint, you're done,
Oh.
right?
Sure.
Great. So you start
Bonus action psionic recovery.
Sure, you start swinging wildly and kind of angrily, kind of like, "Argh!" and kind of heal yourself with your power. Losay, you are up. They are still invisible to you.
I cannot see them.
Correct. You do have an idea of where they're at. I mean, but obviously swinging wildly in their 5-foot space is not sound. A quick note on that. They're small creatures. They're probably about 3 foot tall is what you're looking at, Orlandis. So imagine there's a 5 foot by 5 foot cube and this very narrow and kind of like slightly short kind of fish creature within that space. Like, you're going to have to kind of just swing wildly, and there's a lot of negative space in that 5 foot square. If you get what I'm saying.
That's only while I'm dueling. I can't see him. I can't see him. I can't challenge him to a duel.
I challenge the air to a duel.
You!
Oh, wait, hold on.
No one there.
If you were a bard,
You would impregnate that impregnable air.
Air guitar.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Let's
Jesus
go.
Oh
Christ.
no. I'm going to say that she is readying an action, kind
Okay.
of like where is it coming from, and as soon as one of those guys appear, if they appear, she's
Gonna swing.
nailing one.
All right, Cassia, you're up.
I'm gonna assume I'm probably not gonna be able to make that jump.
That's a fair assumption.
Can make a run to about there, but that bridge might be shifty, and I know that I saw other ones.
Bridge and shipping.
Yeah.
Bridge is totally.
Did every?
fair.
Okay. I got
It's
distracted
made-
by a.
So it's made out of the same ties that the.
Okay.
We're talking.
I got
700 pounds.
I got distracted by a work message. Did you jump across or did you run around?
I run around.
Okay, then I'll do that. I just didn't want to run around and then find out, hey, there's 6 more of those things since I saw that earlier. So with a dash action, I can
No
get
bonus
to...
action, right?
No, just...
Okay, Orlandis.
Okay. So I can see exactly where I see everything, but
They
Ca-
are
if I
not
use-
invisible to you at all in
Yeah.
any way, shape, or form.
no, I got that. But can I use direct the strike? Will that help? Plus a hit.
You can direct a strike. That's still an action you can take. The problem is there's no target for her to swing at. Because it is
Okay.
invisible, she cannot target
So
you
then,
attack.
yeah. All right. So I'm gonna do something a little weird. Can I just try to hit it and pierce it with the spear and leave the spear in its body?
You can certainly try.
Okay.
That's a cool idea. But again, it's a hard one. Go ahead and make
Yeah.
an attack roll, and I already have the penalty that I'm setting in my mind as to what's going to happen here. So just throw the attack. We'll see what happens.
Okay. 24.
So you lance it, and your intent is to catch it and kind of keep the spear inside of it. So it's more of it's not so much like you're thrusting with all your might. It's more of a I'm trying to get it specifically in its place. So go ahead and roll damage, and I'm applying a penalty to the damage for the
6.
purpose. Okay, so then cool. And you kind of get it in there, but you're kind of getting it into a position where it's like midsection.
Okay.
And then after that point, what are you saying?
I'm just gonna say, I am lancing it. Pay attention to where the spear is.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take my hand off the spear.
All right. The spear disappears to everybody
Oh,
who's not
fuck.
Orlandis.
Well, it still looks like it's there to me.
Yeah,
so.
you see the spear in it, but the second it becomes a part of the creature, it vanishes.
All right.
We're
So
supposed to pay attention to where it is when it's gone.
Astrogoth, there's
I'm gonna
arcane-
bonus action.
Okay, go ahead.
Bonus action. I'm gonna inspiring word Losay. After she says that, I'm just gonna be like, "You cannot see the spear."
Roll temporary. Should be 2d6 now, right?
Is it?
I don't know. You 5th level?
No. I'm still 4.
Oh, okay. Then just 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, not bad.
That's pretty good. That's the 8. You
Yeah.
got 8.
8 temporary hit points for you, Lose. So Astrogoth, there's definitely some arcane fuckery going on here. You watch as an effect similar to invisibility shunts the spear that was lanced into something from view. And from the conversation, it seems like Orlandis can see them for some reason, but the others cannot. Just so everyone is aware, and in case you're not familiar with it, if you want to try and suss out what's happening here, you can make a roll or kind of use your action to try and figure it out. But if you want to just do something else, that's fine too.
No, I was actually thinking of I have detect magic as a spell, and I was thinking of using that to kind of achieve a similar effect. So I'll go ahead and do that. What would you want me to roll on?
Well, if you're using your action to do it, go ahead and make an Arcana roll. That way you don't lose the spell.
Excuse you.
Sorry.
Oh, my Arcana is 1.
Good roll.
You got it. You got it. Just believe.
Okay.
You don't.
Does
You don't
anybody
got
want to
it.
spend their inspiration if they have it?
I don't got it.
I need to give
Yes.
it
I got it.
more. Joe,
I'll give it.
Yes, I spend it.
Do you want to do it, or do you want Elizabeth to do it, Joe?
I'll do it.
Okay, all right. What a champ. So, as you're thinking about it, you know that creatures in the Underdark and hunters who proceed into the Underdark use what is known as gloom shadowing to hide themselves from view.
That's what you're fucking doing.
Innately use
No,
sight
no.
beyond normal sight. So you know that your dark vision and the fact that you're relying on it is the problem. You can, like a cat, you can switch your kind of like sight line, kind of change the way you're viewing stuff, but you would know that the reason that you can't see them is because you're viewing them in dark vision.
That's why Orlandus can see them, because he got a
You don't have
shiny
dark
shield.
vision. You don't have dark vision.
Wait.
Chad's so
wait,
mad.
wait.
Look at his mad face. He's so
You
fucking
son of a
mad.
bitch.
Wait, I have a question.
Chad takes
though.
10 psychic damage from that revelation.
Chad's like, fuck it, flips his own desk, just flips the whole desk. You just watch his like computer and everything just flipping.
Fuck dark vision.
It's fucking
Well, I know why
shit.
he's doing this, because he was like, you know what? I fucking hated it when this happened to me.
Well, it's a Kuatoa. What was I gonna do? I have to honor the spirit of Eli. Just fucking let's go.
Losers. I can see them because I'm not special.
There. But Zach.
I have a wait.
Go ahead.
I have a question because this was a specific thing that Lose said. She asked Orlandus to come over to her and give her more light so that she could see better. Would that have changed this whole thing?
A quick note. So we discussed that you had been viewing in dark sight, and I kind of made a point to ask you that was the case. I never got confirmation that you said you'd switch sight. So that's the only thing that I'm basing it on. The only reason that everyone is currently in the state, because I did it, and if you want to watch the VOD back, I asked specific individuals at specific times.
Before.
No, I understand. But again, there was no one that said, I am going to see if I can see in normal vision and see anything. There was no reason for you to do it because I asked you just take the hand up. That was the aftermath of that. So you never said, I am looking at this in normal sight. That was the key. So
what if you have devil sight? Does that
I understand that you wanted someone with light to come over and view a shiny thing. That's fine. And I had made a point to say you don't see it as shiny, and I was asking you specifically if you're looking at it in dark sight. But you had never said specifically, I am changing my sight line.
But you had asked that specifically, if you look back on the VOD.
Yeah, I will.
Before Orlandus came over.
No, light doesn't
and
create.
It was kind of glossed over.
Light being present doesn't create a change in your sight line.
No, I know, I get that, but
Okay.
she had asked him to come over so that she could see it normally, because he had light on him.
Fair.
I know that I didn't say it specifically that she switches over to normal sight.
I'm going to say that now that it's revealed, it's not going to change much besides because we can't go back and do anything on this.
I know.
That's fair. But yeah, again, you did not specifically say you were changing your sight line. You just called him over. So, again, I apologize.
For the light.
Right. Again.
Continue, whatever. I can't fucking see.
Right. But, Astrogoth, on point, you would note that the reason why you can't see them is because you're relying on your dark vision.
What if someone has devil sight? Does that change the matter or no?
Devil sight's still dark vision, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
And Twilight sight, it's like super dark vision, but it's still dark vision. So
That
Cassie
shit is
can't
mega
see shit
dark
either.
vision.
The only things that can see them would be normal sight, no reliance on dark vision whatsoever. True sight or see invisibility. These are the only things that can bypass their current state.
Haha.
Yeah, if you're looking at dark vision but you have the see invisibility spell, it would be active and fine.
Not being special has its advantages.
Astrogoth, do you mention it in character?
Yeah, I imagine I would probably not yell very loudly, but be like, light a torch!
The torch is lit. It's a free action to switch sight, and so I assume at Astrogoth's mentioning, everyone immediately kind of changes the eyesight, right?
Oh, yeah.
2 fucking Kuatoa, stabbing the shit out of Lose. No longer invisible.
And I stabbed them because I prepared an action.
Yep, correct.
Nice.
Damn.
And Balgar, you'll be on deck immediately after this.
Is the Kuatoa that I stabbed being flanked?
Flanking isn't a thing I've ever done, so
Oh, never mind.
that
Never
doesn't
mind.
matter.
24.
Yeah, nailed it.
14.
And that is a lot of damage. So you skewer the thing, kind of like.
Couldn't
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, couldn't you argue that they might be surprised by the fact that we're able to see them now, given that they were like,
It's not going to change much on this attack because she bossed it on the first roll, not the second roll, and she got a lot of damage there. So basically, the descriptive will be the same. You kind of rush forward with the Elvish Thin Blade as you see it, as your eyes kind of shift like cat's eyes, and you rush up and kind of stab it, kind of an upwards impaling attack. It kind of bounces off of the blade, having been impaled quite a bit by it, and lands back besides Glint, bleeding profusely from its side. And the blood is, it's not bright red. It's more of kind of like a clear fluid that's kind of coming off of the creature.
Gross.
Is it edible?
The fucking blood? No.
You sick bastard!
anything's edible if you try hard enough.
Fish don't really bleed, if you're familiar with fish. They don't really have, like, a shit ton of blood or circulatory stuff, and Kuator are similar.
They're still delicious, though.
Balgar, you're up.
They do, though. That's why their flesh is red.
Do flesh beans?
No. So, yeah, like, it's not like a massive amount of blood. I don't know if you've ever seen, like, a fish get bit by a shark or something. Like, they don't really, like, bleed a shit ton.
Hmm.
It's more of just kind of like a clear fluid. But, yeah, you can suck its blood, sure. I mean, mechanically, there's nothing barring you from doing that. I think you can suck blood off of everything except for, like, constructs and undead, right? Or does it say, is there even a stipulator there? You can suck their blood too, right?
You know what? Let me see.
Is that safe, though? Is that safe to do?
As long as it's not that isn't a construct or an undead.
Jesus.
So, yeah. But Balgar, you're up.
What kind of an action is it to change the way I'm looking?
It's
A
free.
free one.
Okay, I do that.
All right.
I
You can see
blink or some shit, and then I see them. One of them's pretty fucked up from Losay swing, and one of them's pretty healthy.
Also kind of messed up from Orlandis hitting it with the spear. There's a spear stuck in it.
Oh, there's that spear went.
I see the spear now, Orlandis. I know what you're talking about. I get it.
I'll sharp note the one that's closest to me.
Mm-hmm.
Deedle-dee.
Go ahead and count 2 fish on your dead count, because that one had very little hit points from Losay's murdering of it. There's no way you can't kill it with a roll.
Yeah, here fucking kill stealing, boy. KDA going up.
I'm stealing kills from elves.
Yeah, just wait until you steal
How
a
dare
dragon
you?
kill.
This is the elf's job. I'm supposed to be stealing kills. Oh, that's funny. All right, Balgar. Anything else besides the action?
Nah, that's it.
All right, it'll go to the last one, who is panicking, definitely looking around, acknowledging the fact that it knows it can be seen. Again, for whatever reason, it's able to detect that. It is going to. There's no way out. There's no way.
No, there's no way out.
What if I revealed myself as a Denisovin special agent, double agent even, and just cast Shatter into this small little cove with crudely made beam support?
Then we fight you.
And then
No,
your
but you
arms
wouldn't
expand
get
like 2
out.
feet.
Hi, it was me all along.
I am going to take the disengage action, and I am going to try and
Piece of
get
shit.
the fuck out of here. So it jumps into the water and starts swimming. It basically just quickly dips behind Orlandis and around Orlandis, and then jumps into the water and starts swimming upstream.
Whack.
Those of you who are looking at it, it's visible, but it's kind of like a silhouette of it because it's in the silty kind of water. I would say because of its depth, which isn't super deep, it'll have cover, so +2 to its AC. But it's done. Glint, you're up.
Did that one
fuck
have
that.
my
Glint
spear?
dives into the water on top of it and starts stabbing the
Wait,
shit out of
hold
it.
on. Can we let it escape? Because it would be really funny for every
No.
fucking time we get into a
Absolutely
fight.
not.
Fucking Orlandis loses
Absolutely
his
not.
spear.
Not even an option.
Can we have him lose his spear, though?
No!
Not even
Actually-
an option.
I'm gonna go ahead and say his cover benefit is penalized because there's literally a spear just flying through the water. Just like coasting through. So go ahead, Glint. You
Like
said
a
you were
little
jumping
flag.
in. Yeah, like there's just a there's a fucking spear.
Don't fucking take my spear again.
Why am I getting so much resist? Oh yeah, I forgot.
So piercing attacks don't suffer disadvantage
They do
underwater.
not suffer
correct?
disadvantage in a water
Okay,
combat
cool.
scenario.
Cool. So we're going double
Rush,
short sword
jump,
followed by a parrying
crack.
dagger. Yeah, just like that. Like
Oh yeah,
it dives in the water and Glint's like, nope. Just goes right after it.
give it to me. So let me see those attacks.
Okay,
Oh no.
that's okay. That's okay. I've got
Oh,
more
no,
attacks.
hold on. So that short sword is now fine condition.
Okay.
You kind of get closer
Uh,
to the edge than you were hoping, and when you swing down, you actually catch a bit of rock that's underneath the water line.
that's fine. Extra
And a second-
attack.
That'll work.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right, you have
Um,
extra attack.
What do I roll on that? That's a 5 on a 1d6. That's cool. We'll take that. So that's
I think-
11 damage.
I think that'll kill him. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
after the spear attack. So
Can
yeah,
you- can you
make
get my
an
spear?
athletics roll.
Can I just plant my feet on the side of the thing?
Make an athletics roll. It's not about the. It's not
For my
about.
spear.
Yeah.
I got a 20.
So as you kind of walk into it, you have two options. Its weight starts to kind of pull down on you, but you are able to kind of secure it. You can hold on to the creature and keep it locked with the piercing blades, or you can let it go. It feels like it's pulling down on you, though.
I mean, it can't really weigh that much via its size. So I'm gonna try to hang on to it. I don't got to worry about drowning.
Absolutely. So yeah, you definitely notice the spear hanging out the back end of it, and if you want to kind of recover that for Orlandis, it's absolutely an option. But immediately in the aftermath, the Kuatoa, if you pull it out and throw it onto the shore, or if you let it sink, either way, you've got a couple of other Kuatoa corpses that are present. After a fashion, if you kind of just test it and switch back to dark vision and then switch back to like light vision, you would see that the creatures that are dead, their scales appear to be kind of showing up in the dark vision sight. Like there's this slow kind of materialization of them in the dark vision. Like their scales are coated with something that's causing them to become invisible to dark vision. And in my campaign setting, dark vision and kind of its essence is infrasight. It's kind of a sight that's beyond, like, you're seeing kind of the world as it is instead of the world as it's perceived due to light. That make sense?
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a cuttlefish.
Yeah, it's almost like kind of like a sensory kind of like adaptation of like what you're viewing instead of like a light source. The light being reflected by something and being perceived by your irises.
It's like how Toph sees, except not through feel.
Yeah, it's not as cool as Tope's vision. That would be tremor sense. That shit is raw as hell though. But yeah,
I distinctly remember a couple of dragons having that or a dragon having that, and ruining our life.
Dragons have dragon sight, which is just superior. It's like the ultimate predatory sense.
I just remember the two boss fights in a row in What Remains where we had cover, and it's like, no, you don't.
You do not have cover. I am a dragon. But anyways, if you kind of look over the Kuatoa, like I said, it's like now you're looking at them in dark vision. There's this kind of weird, like semi-permanent state. Like you can see this ghostial kind of essence of them kind of laying on the ground, split in half by the sharp notes that our badass fucking bard threw out to cut them in half.
So wait, are we looking at them in dark vision again?
If you do it as an
Or-
experiment, I mean to say, or if you
okay.
didn't switch like Cassia might not have, you start to see them kind of slowly manifest. But if you're looking at them in like light vision, you would see that they are absolutely present. They're 100% visible in your light vision.
Okay. I suppose that we should probably not rely on dark vision in here, since the these ones are sneaky?
Might be a good idea to use a mix of both just in case. Don't want to have anything else have a sneaky surprise and get a jump on us.
Damn, I should have invested in the lantern.
I do not have the dark vision, but I can point them out if they show up.
Why are you Balro?
Yeah.
That's not Balro, is it?
It felt a little Balro.
I
Sorry to call you out.
point them out. Shit. Fuck.
There wasn't enough cannibal in there, though. I will
That's
say.
fair. I'll
So.
grant you that.
Orlandus be like, I want uppies.
So the creatures appear to have had the following items. Looks like they had on their belts 3 flasks, kind of rounded glass flasks on their belt. It looks like 2 of them are full and 1 of them is empty. It looks like 2 that had spears, which would have been 1 that got into the waterway and 1 that got knocked down, had spears. And the net that the one threw is still present. It's a crude thing, but it definitely looks like it's made for purpose. It looks like it's kind of it dropped it on you and kind of caught you in that surprise. So if you want to take that, it would be 1 net added to your inventory.
Yeah. So as Glint like crawls out of the water, he like hands the spear back to Orlandus, and he says, "This was a gift. Try not to lose it."
Looking at the spears that they had, though, and I did hear you say something, Elizabeth. I'll get back to you here in a second. But the spears that they have actually look like they're of a superior quality than the one that you gifted to Orlandus.
Yeah, than this trash ass gift. Get this shit out of here.
It looks like these are elvish spears that the Kuo-toa were using.
Can I
Yeah,
take?
they're superior.
Yeah,
Can I take their elvish spear?
Yeah, you can take them. There's a total of 2 of them. And cutting back to Lose, you had said something. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh no, I was making a pun.
Oh, okay, fine. Fuck it.
I said we netted a nut. A net.
I will take both.
Okay.
You will take both. I would like to take at least one of those.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
The
you can have them.
spears are of a superior quality. So, again, in our fumbling and breaking weapons conditioning, superior is the best you can get. So, starts at
It
standard.
doesn't provide any mechanical bonuses, correct?
No, it doesn't. So, what it will do, though, is if we look at it together, bear with me here, miscellaneous, I think it was.
Yeah, because I think it was in like the campaign handout, but I don't think it's in the handout here.
I thought I had a rules set up in here, but apparently not. I will check it real quick here. Hold on.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing anything in like the handout section.
That is bright.
Oh, homebrew rules, armor weapon quality.
Oh yeah, perfect. Thank you. Armor weapon quality. So it's perfect is the best you can get. Superior is 2 steps above normal. Exceptional is 1 step above normal. Normal is a standard item. Fine is if it's 1 below normal, and then poor and inferior. And if you have an inferior weapon and you roll a fumble, it breaks. And if it's a broken weapon, it just can't be used as a weapon. You can use an improvised weapon, but it's not a real weapon. And if it's a broken armor, which happens if I crit you, I start to lower your armor condition. It'll confer no AC penalty or benefit.
Does adamantine suffer that as well?
Adamantine is indestructible, so it does not have a gradation, and is always only standard.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yep. Doesn't play by the rules.
Got you. Unbreakable, baby!
Yeah, it's beneficial, for sure. So, immediate aftermath. A couple of elvish spears, a couple of dead Kuo-toa.
We continue. Oh, fuck, it does sound like Valor.
You're picking it up. You know what me and Elizabeth are saying.
We continue.
Honestly, Balor was a cool enough character. I don't mind you.
Continue. What the fuck? What's the voice?
You're gonna have to go back and watch some VODs and practice.
Yeah.
You lost it. It's gone.
Okay. It's okay. They were fucking giving me shit yesterday when my character didn't pick up his Texan accent or Oklahoman accent until 4 sentences into what he was saying.
Are you saying that technically
Yeah,
an
that's-
Oklahoman accent.
No,
She's
was
gonna
being-
fight your ass.
I was being racist against Southerners just now, so I apologize.
I believe
Wait.
that's a
I
regionalist.
I'm a
Sorry,
Southerner.
regionalist. Florida.
Fuck
doesn't
you.
count. Florida's fucked up. Anyway,
It's technically the South.
focusing up. So the boxes, like I said, are emptied. There is a passageway which, based on the footprints that Glint is able to kind of detect, is where the Kuatok came from, where they kind of came around and looped and smashed you in that corner. So they probably came from this direction. And if that tracks with Castia seeing them there, then that kind of leads you to assume that they kind of went around,
Okay.
found Glint out, and tackled her.
Can I
Yeah.
find like a complete trail of footprints?
Yeah, absolutely. They were
Okay.
not cautious of leaving tracks because they know they couldn't be seen.
I'm just gonna move my guy up here.
Okay, Orlando's coming. As you come to that point, you can see kind of down the way there, seeing another switch table. Seeing kind of out that way. You'd also see that there's some kind of mining equipment kind of present on the right side that seems to have remained. There's a rusted iron pick, and it looks like a bag of strange glass-like shards.
I'll pick those up.
About 4 of them.
So I'm sorry, we recovered like the vials and stuff off the Kuatoa.
Yeah, absolutely. So there'll be a total of 6 that are filled with material. Or sorry, 6 that are filled with material, and then there are 3 that are empty. 3 empty flasks.
Okay.
We don't
Can
know
I
what the
like?
material is.
The material looks like it's kind of a grayish liquid. You don't know exactly what it is, but you could certainly test it. When you're testing a potion, it's just kind of like a sip test. If it's a poison, it could be a problem, but if it's
Balgar.
Come drink this.
Can you drink this poison with your awesome stomach, please?
Smell it.
All right. Yeah, it smells. It smells.
Fishy.
I think. No, it doesn't smell fishy. It smells. Have you ever drank mead, Joe?
Oh yes.
It smells
Fucking
honey. It smells honey, kind of like. It smells
Don't do
meady.
this. Don't do this to me. It smells
And-
like fucking mead.
And actually, when you kind
Oh,
of take
fuck.
when you take a hold of it, if you kind of like give it a shake, the gray material kind of starts to glow, and it kind of has like a yellowish, almost like piss yellow kind of glow to it.
That's not appealing.
It's
That's what mead looks like, though.
it's what mead looks like. I will drink mead.
I'm grabbing mine right
I-
now.
I take a
I'll
little-
drink
I take a little
anything
sip.
piss yellow.
You take a little
Little-
sip. Okay,
Just a little.
so you would
Fucking
identify that
Florida, man.
this is a potion of advantage. There are a total of 6 of them. Potions of advantage state that when you drink them, for 1 hour, you can choose one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw of your choice in that hour duration that you have advantage for. And I'll go ahead and show this handout to you. You do not have the recipe for this. I'm just showing it to you for the potion portion.
What if we bring it to a potion maker?
If you have alchemist tools or any of the tools that are required for creating a potion of advantage, you can spend 1 day of downtime. I think brewer's tools or brewer's supplies is the other option. You can spend 1 day of downtime examining one of the potions to basically recreate the recipe, or retro, or what is it called? Like deconstruct the way that you would build it.
Yeah.
Reverse engineer.
Reverse engineer. That's perfect. That's exactly the words I was trying to say with my face.
Anti-translucent.
I drank
Tastes
I drank more whiskey than I thought I did.
tastes a bit like fish piss.
So I apologize.
Maybe they-
Well, let me
maybe
see.
they had
1,
no
2,
other-
3, 4,
Maybe
5.
they had no better place to go,
Yeah.
so they
Oh,
just
sure.
pulled out an old bottle and pissed in it. I'm pretty sure I just drank Kuatoa piss,
Oh my god, give me that bottle now.
Well,
and then I
If only I was
pocket
playing
it.
X right now.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'll say since we've got 6 people in the party, everybody can have one.
Everybody gets a potion of advantage.
Fish piss.
Neat.
Potion of fish piss.
Potion of
It's
fish,
pass.
fish piss. Love it.
Liquid gold.
Nah, I would.
But again,
I guess it's kind of weird to explain what that fucking potion is. I was trying to think of a way to say it's a potion of, like luck or some stuff.
yeah,
But
that's a good way of putting it. That's a
Okay.
strange
Fish
good way of
piss
putting it.
makes you feel lucky.
What I'll say is that when it settles, if you kind of let it linger, it's kind of like a gray kind of it's not opaque. It's
you got
kind
to
of a,
shake it up.
Do you
Yeah,
have to
if
let
you
it linger?
well, God damn it. Get inspiration. Get inspiration, Zach. Because you were quoting a song, right?
Yeah, the cranberries.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yes, inspiration is yours. You
That's
earned it,
great.
my friend.
Oh, I didn't even hear what he said.
He said, "Do you have to let it linger?" I can't even say the fucking sentence without. Okay, focus up now. If it lingers, you don't have to, but if it does linger, it's kind of like a grayish material, like a it's not opaque. It's kind of like a transparent gray. The best way I kind of describe it is like,
Translucent.
yeah,
Anti-translucent.
No, it is translucent. It's not anti-translucent. It'd be kind of like I'm trying to think of a fluid that's similar to what I'm trying to think of. It'd be like a watered down Coca-Cola. Is the best way.
Coca-Cola's black.
Yeah, no, I know. But if you put water in it,
I think what you're trying
Take
to
it easy,
describe
Jonah.
is tea.
yeah, tea.
I have something else in mind that's grayish in color, but
That's fair. But
Y'all fucking
I'm
weird.
very concerned for you.
focusing the point, I'm gonna go from person to person and ask what you're doing in the immediate aftermath. I'm gonna start with Balgar. So in the kind of aftermath of the fight, everyone's kind of gathering the potions, passing them out, moving about, checking stuff out. Is there anything that you want to do in specific?
I mean, it's curious that like they all look like like warrior types of peoples,
They
right?
do.
And they were under the effects of some sort of invisibility spell.
Yes, and from what you're looking at, it appears that there's something about their scales, either a coating or something that they've applied to themselves, that creates this gloom shade.
Maybe they're hunters.
I want to
Maybe
start
they're
poking.
hunters.
I want to poke at them and try to figure that out.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to make an Arcana check, Astrogoth already pretty much has the sum of it, though. You would know
Yeah.
that they are under the effects of some sort of effect that creates them as a kind of a gloom shade.
Fair enough. Just curious is all. I guess that's
Sure.
what I would be interested in.
Throw that Arcana check. And moving on to the next person would be Zach. In the aftermath, someone hands you a potion. Balgar kind of
Oh,
just
no.
like stares at the ceiling, trying
I'm
to
just
think.
poking a dead fish.
Poking
over
at
here.
the fish, looking like Stand
Like,
By
man,
Me
this
over
is
here.
fucking weird.
Just poking the corpse. But Zach, in the immediate aftermath, is there anything in particular that you want to do?
No, not particularly. I mean, I would imagine that after we get our stuff together, we'd obviously be more cautious here on out.
For sure. But yeah, if there's any directionality that you're kind of minded to, like if there's a specific path that you're focused on, like looking at, there's obviously two paths that lead down into the mine proper, and there's the northern and southern entrance and exit of the waterway. But if you're not focused on any of those in particular, go ahead and move to Glint. Glint, what is your kind of focus in the immediate aftermath here? Obviously, potions, picking up, passing them out, but besides that.
Did we collect those glass pieces? Did somebody collect those?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So you said there were like some tools lying about?
Yeah, so there's one rusted iron pick and a bag with about 4 of these crystals. And,
Okay.
oh, that's actually a good point. Balgar, make a history check. You have double your proficiency bonus on the history check because it's stone related.
Hell
Dwarven, stone cunning.
Ooh.
plus some more. Plus 3 more, I
Jesus
think.
fuck. Okay, all right. So, so these specific stones are dwarvish in their orientation. So, residium is a powder that's of a magical nature that's formed from magic glass. These shards are specified magic glass that's utilized for severing. So what they do is they'll kind of like pick into the stone, take one of the shards and place it at a deep cavity point, and then impale it with their pick. It'll cause the shard to burst, kind of like a starburst almost, and this will loosen the stone in the area where it's kind of splintered or where it's broken. So they can be used for two purposes. Purpose A is they can be broken down into a residium component, and they're worth 100 ounces of residium. A residum. The second purpose is if they're utilized in a mining capacity, they can be used to clear 10 feet of stone if the proper efforts are made to create a cavity for them to fill and then break.
Goddamn, what could I do if I hit them with this cool fucking hammer I have? That's
If you hit them with a
This is
cool
some cool
hammer, they'll
stone.
break the same way. Nothing will change no matter the implement.
yeah, but still,
So-
like think of the possibilities.
In theory,
The possibilities are endless.
I'm not a stone cutter, but I could probably hit him with this hammer.
in theory, we could use them to breach a wall.
Aye. It's very potent magical stone there. How much of it is there?
4 shards.
Only food.
So each one's
Or
worth
shard.
100 ounces of residium. So 1 ounce of residium costs 1 gold piece. And you can use residium for... Oh, here, I'll just give you the handout. Hold on.
Magic items or upgrades, right?
It's that and also material components for spells.
Mm-hmm.
Residium is a basically catch-all that can be used to replace anything.
I think we've just found our way to getting in to Sepulchre's battle.
Break one of these per 10 feet.
Hmm.
I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna listen and see if I hear something smart, but so far not yet.
There's only like 30 feet of wall, isn't there?
Does that
To the
pick look like?
barrel?
No, I'm saying like the walls in the barrel. We can use them
Oh.
on them.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's an option.
I mean, that is an option, but probably not a great one.
There's
Thank you,
already.
Sean. I
isn't
didn't want
there-
to say it directly to his face, but I appreciate you for taking the courage and doing it. Thank you.
I mean,
No, I'm
also,
down.
isn't there already a hole in one of the
Yes,
walls?
there is.
Yeah, but we can make
Oh.
it bigger.
We,
I mean, if we
I mean-
find
Then the
ourselves in a
bugbear
position where
could
we
get in.
need to make one, we can.
What are you
But we
saying
will
about
cross
the
that bridge
bugbear?
when we get there. This pick, does it look like it is in serviceable condition?
Yes, absolutely. It's rusted, so it's currently in poor condition.
That's fine.
Is what its trait would be, but it is usable.
Okay, yeah. Clint goes ahead and picks that up. It's always nice to have a tool. So what? Just like go ahead and just throw a pick.
Pickaxe. It's not actually.
Miner's-
So the difference between like a war pick or a pick.
It's a
weapon,
miner's pick,
It's a miner's pick. Yes.
right? So I'll go ahead and throw that on my sheet.
Perfect.
What is the
Um,
difference? Because I still feel like a pickaxe could be pretty deadly.
So a pickaxe versus like a war pick. War picks will be balanced for striking armor and piercing it, whereas a pickaxe is very heavy on its head and is utilized for breaking stone. It's not a melee weapon.
Right. And then the back end is more of like a pry bar.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of would want more weight on the heavy end that I'm hitting them with.
It's not so much that it's like a desire for more weight; it's the balancing. It's
Right.
It's,
And a war pick actually does have like a lot of weight on the head of it behind the pick point. So that when you
Yeah.
swing it, it's applying a shitload of force to the point of the pick.
right.
I'm just saying, I could probably kill a man with one swing and a pickaxe.
No doubt.
I mean, yeah, I
It's
probably
been done
could too.
before.
if Elden Ring has taught me anything, a pickaxe can work.
You know, also Skyrim.
Also, Skyrim, yes, I can murder people with that and that.
can murder
Um,
people with a spoon.
I'm
and
sorry.
stuff.
I love it.
I digress.
It's fine. I'm okay
So
with it.
there's no other equipment around, like no shovels, no lanterns.
4 shards of the dwarf glass and 1 pickaxe.
Okay, so basically we've explored this corner. You said all those boxes and stuff were empty. There doesn't seem to be any way out through here unless we want to try exploring the river, and Glint is not going to do that alone because there's probably more Kuatoa in there.
Okay, so as you're picking up the gear and checking for more equipment, we're going to move on from you to Tom. Cassia, in the immediate aftermath, as you kind of see Glint kind of maneuvering about, looking for more objects and kind of a direction, you see Balgar as is, and also Astragon as described.
Balgar poking a dead fish.
Poking a dead fish, right. Stand by meing the dead fish. How would you like to proceed, Cassia?
Castiel will probably head over this way to see if I can see anything up this gorge river and also about this pathway that's
When you say up,
over
do you
here.
mean the Gorge River to the north?
Yes, yeah, like what can I
So-
see?
What you would see is mostly unworked kind of passageway, and it looks like there's kind of a narrowing of the ceiling to a point where there's probably maybe like a foot or so of clearance on the water line, about 30 feet in. It definitely looks like it. The passageway comes up and kind of enters into the space more so than any alternative. And then looking at the other passageway, it looks like it descends sharply down. So it looks like the railway kind of comes up to that point. And you can see a number of like rings, iron rings on the sides, kind of installed on the wooden posts that are holding up the ceiling. And what you would not know, but would probably be able to kind of suss out, is that these are probably used in kind of an engaging process to move minecarts up the railway. They kind of lock them onto it, hold them up to that space, pull the second lines and move them up to the next base, unlock the past lines, move them up to the next base, and so on. Hard work, but effective. All right. So as you're checking that all out, I'm going to move to Lose. In the immediate aftermath, dead Kuatoa, everybody checking stuff out. You're handed a potion of advantage. Everyone seems to be doing their things. What's Lose doing?
Looking at the exploratory options. Did you say that this? Oh, sorry. This is closed or is it
Yeah.
open?
Closed. It looks like that's where the
Closed, okay.
tools were found by Glint/Balgar, I believe.
Okay. And then there was another pass. The passageways that we saw are mostly up here.
Yeah. So it looked like there was a passageway that Cassie's kind of looking down right now.
Okay. We'll go over that way.
All right. And you
We want to go deeper into the more interested in going deeper into the mine.
You would see basically what Cassia has seen. That passageway that's directly to the west looks like it descends down, and there are rings on the struts on the side that are kind of placed there for some elevatory purpose. Okay. Last but not least, Orlandis. Immediate aftermath. Potions handed to you, etc., etc.
I mean, he'll probably do the same thing that Lose and Casty are doing, just
Sounds good.
looking for a new way to go deeper in.
So we have a directionality. There's obviously 4 exits out of this place. There's the northern pass, and there's the southern pass, which are the 2 passages that lead deeper into the mine proper. Then there's the waterway to the north, which, as we described, looks like it's going to be a swim and a submarine. Why is my brain dumb? A submarine method of getting into that northern pass. No one really looked at the southern pass, so no one cares about that, but that's obviously another option as well.
But south is the way towards Sepulchre Barrow.
You bet your ass it
Sepulchre
is.
Okay. I mean, shit. South. But can I check south, or is it too late?
If you go and check, yeah, it's not too late. If you go and check and you look that way, it looks like it's a waterway that leads that way pretty well. And as you kind of move over to that direction, you'd pass by the construction. You'd notice that there are wooden tines that are kind of present there, but are not super heavy. These are kind of reinforcing struts that are just stacked near a pile of like rubble. And looking at them, they look like they're not terribly heavy. and look like they're pretty solid wooden oak material, probably from the forests and slash kind of wooded area of Midtown and all of Carden proper.
Okay. And it's an open passage that leads south?
Yeah, looks like it's got a good 8-foot high ceiling, just like most of the space you're in.
Oh, yeah. So we can make a makeshift boat.
Good if you want to.
Yeah. I mean, Orlandis will start on that.
Okay.
Start on that.
So, Cassian or Lose, you were kind of looking off towards the west. You see Orlandis kind of moving over to these piles of wood and kind of moving them into, formation. And Glint, you're kind of gathering up the gear. Astrogoth and Balgar just being astutely smart in the middle. And I'll leave it to you to kind of discuss what you want to do moving forward.
Seeing Orlandis working with, the boards and stuff, Cass will come over and be like, are you building, like, a pyre for the fish ghosts?
No, I am building a boat so that we may go down this river to go deeper into the mine.
Do we have to take the river?
I do not see any other walkable passageways, but this one is pretty open and not safe, but it's open.
So
There's
the
one there.
water's running north to south.
North to south. And what were you saying, Elizabeth? Was it a pun?
No.
Okay.
It
Gotta
was
check.
a little bit of a joke, though.
Okay.
She was saying there's a passage over there and pointing to the west up here.
Do you think it will lead into or closer to Sepulchre's Barrow?
Don't know. It haven't checked. It looks like it goes deeper though. It may wrap around, mines. They go whatever way they want.
Aye, it's very possible. Plus, I would be interested in checking out more of this particular place. Goes deeper. It's a good chance it goes further south as well. Eventually.
So he stops messing with the wood and he's just like, maybe that would be better.
I mean, have you ever built a boat before?
No.
I
I
mean,
was really set on trying.
Exactly.
You don't really experience new things in the world unless you give it a try.
I mean,
Truly.
on a scale of getting a donkey to respect Glint over there and killing a dragon, where does it rank?
Somewhere that is representative of 3.
3. Oh, Count
It'd be
Dracula.
3 out of 100 or 3 out of 5. Who knows?
You were trying to build a boat?
A raft, but
Ah.
yes, something that could float on water.
Okay. So, you're wanting to go towards the west, is that right?
Yes.
I mean, I was.
Yeah.
If you make your way... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Glenn's gonna light a torch and continue exploring this way.
I'm gonna go back to dark vision just because that's normal for me. So
Yeah.
that's
That tracks. But if you go towards the west and kind of make your way down, the passageway kind of swoops to the right, which for kind of directional purposes would be northward. It seems to kind of coil outwards in a large loop, and it comes to a point as you're making your way down the tunnel that you see that there is a immediate barrier of water as you're descending down in this loop, and then at a certain point it's filled out with water. looks like the mine is flooded. You can certainly continue into the water if you want, but it will be a swim and no air. Regarding Glint, if you'd like to make an investigation for this back corner, you certainly can. I will require that from you, actually.
We could have used that raft here.
Yeah.
It's 20.
Sure. So as you make your way over to the kind of corner, you see that there's a lot of footprints on the ground that are indicative of Kuatoa footprints. Looks like this is a very common stopping point for the Kuatoa for whatever reason. And as you're kind of maneuvering about, you see what looks like a kind of strangely colored patch of stone. You move over to it and start inspecting it and realize that it's a faux facade that has been kind of placed here over a cavity. And inside the cavity, you see like a large grouping of salted meats. Looks like this is kind of a waypoint or a rest point for these Kuatoa to kind of stop, gobble up some food, and then head onwards to some other location. Based on the water's trajectory, obviously they're coming from somewhere northwards and heading somewhere southwards.
Well, fuck those Kuatoa. I hope they starve, and Glint's gonna take all their food.
Okay. Yeah, so the salted meats that are present are definitely kind of salted, awful, kind of just, meat that have been kind of put to a point where it's more salt than meat, but enough to kind of sustain somewhat. Probably not the exact greatest taste for
That's how it works normally.
dampier. Yeah, sure, for sure. But like, it's probably not the greatest taste for a dampier. It's probably something that's probably more palatable by a Kuatoa. But go ahead and count it as 20 days worth of rations that you're kind of dragging out of the bag.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Glint is much more of the very, very rare preference. But he
What kind of meat
puts
is
all
it?
that
Is
stuff
it?
in his bag and
I'm
gives
not
the
there.
room like one more pass
It's a great
to
question.
look for any other stashes or anything else of value, and then he makes his way back to the rest
Just
of the party.
rations. But
So he makes his way back to the rest of the party.
for
as
the
he
rest of
walks
the
up,
group, before we get there, you kind of make your way to the point where there's a water line that kind of descends down into it in that space. If you wish to proceed, you can. It's absolutely an option, but it definitely will be something that they're going to need to make checks for, because you'll be underwater unless you have something that bars you from having to breathe.
Nope.
Yes, my lungs.
Back to the boat idea.
That's the opposite, actually. That requires you to breathe.
That's anti-translucent, Jonah.
Yeah, you did a Chad. The opposite.
Well.
The opposite is true.
That idea is no good. No telling where you could come up for air down there. I'm not going in.
So back to the boat.
Okay, so if you go back into kind of the main space, there's of course the passageways that lead down to the one passage that you haven't gone to, and then of course the two waterways.
Man,
I guess we can take a peek at that one over there.
Okay.
The one remaining option.
This goes on for about 40 or so feet, and then comes to a cul-de-sac, or kind of coils around, comes to a cul-de-sac. Looks like this full passageway hasn't been drawn out, but the rail is present there. There's kind of like a stop point, it's almost like they push it down the hill and it kind of just hits into like a wooden kind of stop point at the end of the rail. I don't know what it's called in trains where like the rail ends and there's like that point where it kind of has a buffer. And I think everyone's kind of imagining the same thing, the Spider-Man scene. But what I'm saying is it's kind of
Which
an
one?
end point. The second one with Doc Ock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
But the point is it looks like there's a lot of mining that's been done down here. About 5 more of these picks that are present, and Balgar, you immediately identified there's a mithril vein here
fuck, where? Over there?
in this space in the corner that's all the way down like 40 or so feet descent. It looks like it's been mined pretty thoroughly, but it still looks like there's a bit of mithril ore present.
I'll be honest with you. I was kind of more paying attention to the Jonah and the raft thing. So
Oh,
I don't know.
he quit on that, didn't he?
No, he went back.
We went back to that idea because the
Oh, okay. Then never mind. You're not
western
there.
portion is flooded.
No one has any idea that there's a vein here because no one here probably. Well, no, sorry, Lose smithing tools. You would actually recognize there's a mithril vein here. You would.
Thank fucking God.
Yeah. Thank God for two people having tools and no one else.
Please, let me show you what I can do. Get that shit.
There is mithril present here, so it's a bit of ore, but you would know it would take time to kind of maneuver it out of the rock and bring it out to even a state where you would need to smelt it. Muted. Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
How could I just like get a little bit of it out with
It
like
would take time. It's
Okay.
definitely an effort. The vein
Okay.
it's not like it's just out and about. It would take
Yeah.
a good hour to just get like maybe a pound or so.
Okay. She'll go back up and tell Balgar. Balgar, there seems to be a mithril vein down here. If you're interested, we could take some time and carve some out.
To connect the narrative, I just want to make sure I have everybody where they're at. First off, Astrogoth, did you go with the Lose, Castia, Glint crew that kind of went down that way, or did you stay with the Orlandis Balgar crew that kind of stayed up trying to build a boat?
I was going with Lose and them.
Okay, cool. So you would see the vein there present and everything. And you don't have smithing tools, so you're kind of...
I don't know.
Yeah. And then for Balgar and Orlandis, you stayed up and were starting to build a boat.
I was watching Orlandis.
He's not.
He wasn't
Okay.
helping. He was just.
He's
Orlandis-
working
I was
on a
thinking
great
about the
folly
idea.
song.
Because I've already seen your character sheet, I know you don't have carpenter's tools as a
Nope.
proficiency. So if you'd like to go ahead and just make a static intelligence check, that
Gotcha. 5.
yeah. So you're definitely laughing the whole time because even you, someone who is a bit of a landlubber, a dwarf, not someone who cares too much about the water, you can tell that that is not seaworthy. That is not waterworthy. That is
It's not even puddle worthy.
Can I interject at a point where we both realize it's kind of a not good?
You can make an intelligence or a carpenter's
Well,
tools.
what I want to do is I want to pull out the hammer that I've been keeping in my bag, wrapped in like some really fine, like the finest shit I got, like silk or
Okay.
some shit. And I'm not a carpenter either, but
You're
I
not-
want to try to fabricate a raft. Surely, out of the planks we have before us, I could fabricate a raft.
The effort of the hammer is almost instantaneous. The best way I can kind of describe it is if you've seen Wreck-It Ralph, the carpenter guy, or the repairer guy.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Fix
God.
it.
Felix.
Fix
Yeah,
it,
there you go.
Felix. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
kind of bonk the wood a couple of times, and it just kind of all like smatters together into a raft. As you use the fabricate for the day to create a raft.
Oh, so it's like every real-time strategy game out there.
Yeah, it's just like a
Orlandis is
real-time
just-
strategy. It's like you're playing Rust and you're building a wall.
Orlandis is just gonna stand up and you could have fucking done this and you waited?
I'm sorry, I'm still not quite sure how this works with the
You-
hammer. It's quite a powerful relic.
Did you see me lifting the beams, you son of a bitch?
You could have stopped me and said, hey, I have this thing that I can do with
Listen.
fucking magic.
That is
Listen,
the point at which Lose and crew arrive.
Listen, I trust enough in your plans and your ideas that I would let you have a solid go at it before I intervene. I was merely
Oh.
following behind and trying to help.
He's just gonna get on the raft and then just get ready to set out.
He's sitting on the raft just annoyed. He doesn't even
As-
set it up. He's just like,
Just gonna...
Castia will helpfully stroll up and be like, "Oh, so it was 3 out of 100, not 3 out of 5. Oh,
well,
After that, then he's
for the
gonna set off.
difficulty, he said it was a 3, and we walked off for like 10 minutes, and now there's
Yeah.
a fucking beautiful raft here."
it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
He's gonna set
I'm-
off with the raft.
Orlandis built this raft.
He's gonna start going. Just
Okay.
gonna start going down the river.
I'm going by myself. I
Gonna
don't
go.
need anyone.
It's gonna go.
Does anyone want to accompany Orlandis on this raft that was just made?
No, I want to go farm the mithril, or that's there
Fuck yeah.
for an hour.
Let's get a
Orlandis-
mithril
Please.
canoe.
You guys should build a fire. Don't worry about that raft. Just
Orlandis
Chill
arms
for a
crossed, just
minute.
like seated in a grumpy position and sailing off. But no, really, are you going by yourself or are you
Gonna
staying?
sail off.
no, I would insist that we get some of the mithril.
Okay. So with the pickaxe that you have and the 5 pickaxes that are down there, they're all rusted. They're all in poor quality. Everyone who is present who wants to attempt to mine has access to a pickaxe. Total of 6. So everybody's got one. If you'd like to attempt it, you can make a check. It will be, since nobody here is, if you're proficient with smithing tools, it's a smithing tools strength check.
Okay,
You're
I am
not-
proficient with smithing tools. I would cockily try to be like, "This is how you do it," but truthfully, I've never mined a day in my life. I've only watched other dwarves.
If you are not proficient with it, you can attempt the check. It'll be just a strength check. The DC is changed depending on whether you're proficient or not.
How do I?
Smith's tools, it'll prop up a query, and you'll select strength.
We should have
Astrogoth, you try, and
That's where your ability scores are on the sheet.
Oh
Lose
baby, the dice.
and
Dang.
Balgar kind of have like a bit of an effort in the hour span, kind of watching Astrogoth, Glint, and such fail. And you two are kind of focused on each other more so than everyone else. You then watch Cassia pick up the pickaxe and just kind of join in, and she seems to be following the two of you working an effort. And over the course of about an hour, if Glint doesn't join in, they kind of work.
He did. He tried.
Oh, he did. Oh, I see. Sorry, who didn't try?
Orlando.
Orlandis is not.
He's still
having
sitting
any-
on the raft.
He's on the raft.
He's managing. Oh, okay, never mind. So
He's on the raft.
if you all work towards it, after about an hour span, 3 of you are each able to extract 1 pound of mithril.
Hell yeah.
I promise you, I'll put this towards good use for your cause.
I'm glad we found it.
Yeah. So as you kind of compile the ore, kind of put it into a bag and head off, you make it back to the boat. Are we locked in on the boat? We're not trying to go into the flooded mine.
we're
Orlando.
heading down the river to the south.
Okay. So I need then, if the group kind of gathers onto the boat and you start making your way, you can have the person who is piloting the craft, and they will be required to make a vehicle's water check, and then you can have one assistant, and even if they're not proficient, they can grant assistance. If they are not proficient, they're just granting a +2 bonus to the person who's making the vehicle's water check. If they are proficient, they'll grant advantage to the person who's making the vehicle's water check.
Who has proficiency in vehicles water?
Literally
Not
nobody.
me.
Guinea in the
Oh,
other universe.
Yeah. Where's he at?
I mean, Orlando's still
Dude,
trying.
Fabricate this raft with a fucking cannon on the top, please. But anyways, okay, so Orlandis, if you're taking the lead, it will be a dexterity check that you are going to be making, and is someone helping, is someone
I'll
acting
help.
as an aid.
I'll help since I have the land. It somewhat translate, having driven a couple of boats myself.
Kind of. So you'll grant
It translates a little bit.
you'll grant a +2 to Orlandis' roll. So Orlandis, you're gonna make a just straight dexterity check, and you'll have a +2 from Lose.
Okay.
I will
7.
spend my inspiration for the love of God.
Yeah.
I don't want to die down here.
22.
All right. So bear with me here for a second. So
I feel like whatever happens is going to kill us, but you know.
That curse, man. It's that curse.
as you make your way into the waterway, what happens is there's like a narrowing of the flow. So there's like I said, a kind of not very rapid flow up into the waterway. But as you kind of get about 40 or 50 feet into the tunnel, the water actually seems to speed up due to a descent and a narrowing of the flow. This causes a bit of an issue between Orlandis and Lose, who are working very hard as a team to make sure the boat isn't smashing into the walls. They're kind of using what they have available, probably pines that they got from the thing, to kind of push it off the stone. And they're trying to keep them centered in the waterway instead of smashing against the sides. But what ends up happening is, despite the good course of about 20 or so minutes of not smashing the raft to bits, they come to a point where the raft is locked into position as the water flow seems to narrow to a point where it's very low, and you actually see that you're entering into a worked canalway, and the raft literally stops, just lodging itself in this canalway with not enough water underneath it because of its size, keeping 6 people on it, mind you, to be able to maneuver into this new canalway. The water flow here is a lot slower than it was that kind of intermediate kind of position, or that kind of space in between here and there. I'm going to move you to a new map. Bear with me here for a second.
How much space is there underneath the boat?
After it stops or before it stops?
After it stops.
Oh, yeah, maybe half a foot. It's kind of locked in this canal. It's kind of, it's tunnel, or it's pipe-like.
Oh, I got you. So even if we manage to dislodge it, there's not enough water, not enough flow to keep going.
You'll be able to understand what I'm saying here once I get you onto the map.
We grind to a halt right in the main thoroughfare of Akuatoa City.
No, not Akuatoa City, actually.
Oh, that wasn't good.
It's a Krothic city.
I shatter it.
We drown them.
I cast heat metal on the city.
As you kind of walk into this tunnelway, you kind of come out onto a landing. You can go to the left or the right of the this waterway, but what you realize is this is worked. This is intentional. It's like a either like a sewer system or oh my god, what's the name of the waterways in Rome?
Aqueduct?
That's the words.
Yep.
It's like that, but it's filled with kind of like a briny and kind of sediment-filled water, similar to the water that was passing in the space that you came from. Those of you who have massive dark vision, you see that there's a dark pool to the north, and the water is moving pretty quickly, but it's at a lower depth, and it seems to be moving towards this whirlpool up ahead.
North or south of us?
South.
Oh, okay. So down here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see.
Do not want.
I'm in the baby's in the corner. Baby can't see.
Oh,
Yeah, I can
It's okay.
see pretty far.
Let's start moving forward.
Okay, so it looks like there's a hole in this wall here, kind of a passage that enters in, and looking inside, the stonework does have a certain grime to it, like over time it's kind of just built up a strange kind of if you're familiar with what hard water is, there's kind of like a sediment layer that's not only on the floor but also on the walls and the ceiling, and it seems
the
to kind
lime scale.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of built up over the place, and it's also it almost
Seems
has
like
like a. Go ahead.
Seems like a hard Anderson reference to me.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
we got you.
It's kind of got like a sheen to it too. Like there's a reflectivity to the material as well. Like there's a nice kind of watery slickness to the space.
Disgusting.
Absolutely.
Right, cool. Orlandis is gonna keep going it.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Perception. Is it with disadvantage?
You
Because
have a
normal
light.
sight. Okay. 10.
All right. Yeah, so it looks like there's a staircase that leads up to another entrance or exit from the space. It's probably about a 10-foot height differential. The ceiling in this space is probably about 30 feet off of the top level, so about 40 feet off of the bottom level. And as you make it into that space, Lose, you were watching Orlandis stop moving. You're watching
sorry.
Orlandis moving into the space. You kind of take a second and kind of look up, and you see that there's this strange kind of just very out of place looking stalactite hanging from the ceiling. You watch as it turns and an eye opens from the center of it, and you watch as two tendrils, rope-like tendrils, fly out towards Orlandis and start lashing at him.
Ah, shit.
Oh no.
I think some of you should know what this is. I definitely know fucking Chad knows what this is. Chad's like, why are you trying to fucking traumatize me this session, bro?
Is it that creature that you shared a picture of before?
Is it a roper?
Yeah, that thing.
The answer is it's a roper.
Yeah, I don't
that's
know
what
if the rope-like appendages gave you any hints, but
I assumed hentai monster.
I am
That was my
hentai
first-
Not wrong.
the shit out of Orlandis. Bear
Oh,
with me.
okay.
I am going to shift the music because I do want a combat music. I do like combat music.
That's fucking creepy and I love it.
All right. So, one moment
What
here.
kind of sound does it make?
None. Completely stealthy silent.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay. No, like once it shows itself, it doesn't make sound.
that's what
none of
helps
that.
you stay awake at night.
Orlandis,
just
your
gonna
AC is
assume-
21 base, right?
Yes, with shield.
Both attacks will attack and hit with advantage. You watch Lose as these two strands slam down onto him, and you see them kind of just writhe around him until they kind of loop around his body and kind of capture his arms and seize them out to the side and capture his body and kind of hoist it up from underneath the arms. He's elevated about 25 feet off the ground, directly up to face with the stalactite. And Orlandis, as you're kind of moved up in this way, you're looking in a different direction, so you don't see what's happening. You just see the material on you. Lose, on the other hand, you watch as the eye focuses in on Orlandis, and directly above the eye, a mouth opens, filled with just massively sharp-looking shark-like initiative.
great.
That was the surprise round. We're going to avoid passing through that. So we're going right into the fight proper.
That's
Oh,
gross.
yeah.
But I'm into it. Do I take any damage?
No.
Oh,
Not yet.
okay.
You are restrained, and you have disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
That's okay.
And you are currently restrained twice. Because it's got you with two tendrils.
Yeah. So I can't poke it with my spear.
You can, you just have disadvantage on the attack.
Okay. I
Lose,
got you.
you're up first. It is, again, 40-foot elevation from your current position. It'll be 30-foot elevation from the landing that he went up onto.
So I can barely make it there.
I mean, it's up
'Cause-
there, though, because it's kind of got a height
Oh.
over the it's on the ceiling, so it's...
Oh, it's still on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to.
Out of character, where it will remain. Ropers aren't stupid.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can bring the food to
Um,
me with tendrils.
Oh, you know what? I have a bow.
You have a bow. You're an
I
elf.
have a bow.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah. So we're
It
gonna
makes the bow
do
sense.
a pew
Most sense.
and a pew because I got an extra attack now.
And then for the second attack, you actually kind of feel the bow kind of give way. Go ahead.
I'm gonna waste my inspiration on
On the
that
second
one.
attack, okay, then that
Yeah.
will hit. The first attack bounces. You watch the arrow break against its eye, like stone-like hide, and then the second arrow you kind of move it so you shoot kind of towards the gums of the mouth. Roll the damage.
7.
As the arrow kind of catches it in the gum, you kind of watch a little bit of blood spurt from that location, and it takes a little bit of damage from the barb hitting and then bouncing off onto the ground. Lose done?
Yes.
Orlandis, you are restrained. You have disadvantage on strength checks to try and remove yourself from it, but you can, as an action, attempt to escape. You are elevated 25 feet off of the ground.
Okay. Is Lose within 25 feet of me?
She's down below you. I'd say that's fine, yeah.
Okay. Fuck it, I'll try to escape.
Makes sense.
Strength saving throw? Or athletics?
It's an athletics check, yeah.
Okay. Natural.
Is it natural 1?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
It is very much bound you. You are definitely locked in.
Okay.
Great.
That's it.
Orlandis done. Cassia, you're up. There's something going on over there.
I can actually see the roper, like, with the
Okay.
my range, a
Well-
very small slit of it.
What I will note is that the passageway in is only probably about 8 feet high because it's a doorway, and it's above that, so you can't see through the top of the archway. Does that make sense?
So I can't see through this spot here.
You can see through that spot, but it's not on ground level. It's above
Okay.
the top of the door.
You see the ground
Okay.
from where
And-
there used to be.
The elevations are off. So
This-
let me explain. We'll call this, for lack of a better term, 0 foot. Okay?
Okay.
The top of the door is 8 foot, and then this guy is 25 foot at his
Okay.
lowest.
So it's a much more open area in there.
Correct.
Okay.
Look at it.
Okay. Knowing that, Castia will head to here.
Okay. And then looking into the door, you can see just fine.
Okay. And then I still have 10 feet of move. So I'll stay at this point to do my much beloved Sacred Flame.
Of course. Kind of appears near it, shoots down and strikes it. You watch it kind of dash the side of the creature. Yeah, it doesn't seem to maneuver very quickly in any stretch.
Given that it's attached to the ceiling, yeah.
Yeah, they're not very mobile. Okay.
And then I'll duck back around the corner here.
That makes sense. It pulls the 2 tendrils up, and as it's doing so, 2 more flare out and shoot towards Lose.
Yeah, I kind of expected that. Deck save?
No, they're attacks.
No. Oh, they're attacks.
One, you watch kind of slam towards you, and you kind of narrowly move aside, but you don't see the second one, and it catches you on the ankle. It grabs a hold of you. It kind of catches your ankle. It then uses its real ability, which lifts you up 25 feet towards it. So you're now hanging in the air here. And with its remaining portion of its multi-attack, it will bite and slam its teeth into delicious morsel known as Orlandis. You're restrained, so I have advantage. 25 will hit.
No,
Hit 25 piercing damage.
I don't consent.
As you watch it kind of slam into the shoulder of Orlandis and kind of bite into the armor, it's actually a critical hit, so you're adamantine. You don't give a shit. Let me readjust the damage.
Oh. Okay.
20. 20 damage. My crit roll was shit. But yeah, 20 damage. Since you're immune to critical damage.
Okay.
It would have fucked your armor up if you weren't though. Okay, that's its turn. It gets a lot of fun times multi-attacks, but Glint, you are up next.
Okay, I'm gonna do. So he just knows there's some commotion in here. He hasn't seen the thing yet.
Yeah.
Does he have any knowledge of ropers?
Popping in, you see the creature. If you wish to use your action to try and discern what it is, you can make a knowledge roll. But if you don't want to do that as your action, you can go ahead and implement your
That's
turn.
fair. Okay, he's gonna instead do some black magic fuckery.
All right.
I'm gonna use my action, expend one of my dice, seeing that it's got both Lose and Orlandis, but also seeing that Orlandis's armor is sort of, he's the beefier individual. I'm gonna use my action telekinetic movement. And he says, Lose, just trust me. Telekinetic movement, I'm going to move her 30 feet.
Okay.
And then with I'm basically going to move her like 30 feet out and like, I guess behind me. And then,
So
like
here?
Here? Oh,
yeah, pretty much like directly behind me across the.
So what you
across the
note
way.
is as she zips past you from the telekinetic force, is that the tendril that's attached to her does not relinquish. She is still bound by it, and you actually watch during that whole course of action, it's actually growing as it's being moved further away, looping up her legs and catching around her body and restraining her arms to her chest a bit.
Okay. But now at least she's like that tentacle's within range of everybody
Yeah,
else.
she's still within 50 feet technically, so she is still captured.
Let me see. And then my bonus action, I'm going to use my telekinetic shove to attempt to move it 5 feet away from the ceiling.
Okay.
That is a DC 13 strength saving throw.
Alright, so the roper has advantage on attempts to force move it. You said strength?
Yes.
Alright, I got a 24.
Okay. I tried. And then he's going to draw his parrying dagger and kind of disappear around the corner.
Alright. Flint, Dunn, Balgar, you're up. Noting it, you see Lose, the tendril looks like it's are you familiar with the violin? Do you know the string of the instrument of the violin, like on the bow?
yeah.
Imagine that, but like maybe about 8 inches wide, maybe a little thicker. That's what the tendril is.
So it's like a.
It's
cord.
sinewy.
Is it wearing any metal objects?
No, what I'm trying to say to you is it looks like the tendril might be cleavable.
True.
Hmm.
But also,
It's not.
okay. Cleaving. What kind of? It was a move action for me to attach the thing to the thing.
No, it's free. It's like you're drawing a weapon.
Oh, hold on. Does it need to be slashing? Is that
It does need to be slashing.
Okay, we got a slashing. We got a slashing thing we can do.
Well, it doesn't need to be slashing, it's just resistance against bludgeoning and piercing, and immune to other types.
Okay, I'll just play a sweet tune on the harp, and it'll be a slashing type of tune.
Alright, so that attack is going to miss. It's a kind of narrow thing, and as you kind of swing it out towards it, it kind of tightens and kind of shifts where it's located, so the note hits into the water instead of into the tendril.
It's embarrassing. It's
And,
embarrassing. As
yeah.
an artist,
It's the acoustics.
It's not very good.
yeah, it's true.
I
like a
tap
sewer.
my musical instrument and say, don't worry, it happens to the best of us.
Speaking of Astrogoth, it looks like you didn't get put on the initiative tracker. What was your initiative roll?
I think it was 13 before.
Okay. I'm going to add you on there because it didn't look like it put you. And
Yeah, I wasn't sure, and I didn't recall us re-rolling, so I was like, oh, well.
No worries. Go ahead and take your initiative now, and then we'll put you back into the regular loop of it.
Alright. I got a position for the doot, but...
All right.
Actually, let me see what I have for spells. See if there's anything that might come in handy. Yay, okay. So I know you explained the situation with the door. Would I be able to see it from
Yep.
here, or would I have... Okay. Would I be able to see... My idea is, given that Balgar is seems to be more of like a slashing with his instrument, and mine is more of like a blunt force. Would I be able to see where this thing is attached to the ceiling and try to aim there or around that area to see if I can loosen its grip?
It's an interesting idea, but looking at it, it genuinely looks like it is in.
It is part of the ceiling.
Yeah, for lack of a better kind of, you're not very stone cunning, so you can't really see a difference between it and the ceiling.
I got you.
In all honesty, it has an ability that says it can just disguise itself as a ceiling.
All right, I develop a phobia of ceilings attacking me wherever I go in the
That's
future.
what you should. That's exactly what you should expect out of a person fighting a roper.
But I will commence the do.
All right.
You said the word. We met a game.
What? What?
It's a roper.
Oh yeah, it's a roper. I'm not gonna fucking lie about it. I mean, you don't know what a roper means. That'll miss. And that'll
You
miss.
don't know what a roper means.
They both miss.
Both shots hit into its stone-like carapace and kind of burst with like magical energy, but it doesn't look like it pierces the stone hide of the creature.
I just repeat. See, happens to the best of us.
Orlandis, you are currently
At least you hit the stone hide of the creature and not the water.
restrained, and as you were. Jonah,
Did you skip Lose? I
did I?
think
If
so.
you
Son of a bitch. Yeah, sorry.
you
I
did.
got.
My apologies.
It's no worries. It is definitely your fault, though. Not mine, as a DM who should have seen past that shit and does this all the time. Elizabeth, go ahead.
I'm still restrained, yeah.
Correct. And
Okay.
a distance
so-
away, but you're pretty sure slashing is probably the best way to deal with the tendril that's attached to you.
You had said that I had my arms restrained, though.
Yeah, well, so you have the restrained condition, which just means that you have disadvantage on attack rolls, and you're grappled.
So I can still
You
use
still attack.
Okay. I will attempt to attack.
Alright.
I mean, it's not going to be slashing, but... I think it's that one.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you kind of try and finagle like a position where you can kind of get the lance of the thin blade onto the tendril to pierce through it and kind of create a break. But you try and kind of do this, and you just keep slipping against it as the tendril continues to tighten.
Yeah.
You still have a. Are you 5th level yet?
Oh, yeah.
Second
I can
attack.
attack again. It's brand new.
All right. So as you kind of do this, and you're kind of not
Dang it.
particularly locked to the ground, you're not technically prone, but as you're kind of like held aloft, you kind of push down, and you hit the tip of the blade against the stone. Your elven thin blade will drop from current condition to poor condition, and just in the parentheses, just change it to poor, or not poor, fine.
Oh, okay.
Just one step. All right, that's your turn. No movement, obviously, and no bonus actions that I can think of. Right?
Right.
Okay. So Orlandis, you are up.
I'm gonna attempt to escape again.
Strength, athletics.
Why?
Yeah. So you kind of look at the situation, kind of seeing it, and kind of not being able to kind of get a hold of your weapon. You just kind of and force, and you actually rip the tendril in such a way that it kind of splinters near where you kind of start the tear, and you drop 15 feet. I need you to make a acrobatics check if you're trained in it. If you're not, you're just hitting the ground.
I'm just hitting the ground.
You take 3 damage of bludgeoning damage, and you're prone. You still have your
Oh.
movement. You can take it as your pleasure. But that was your action to get out of it.
Yeah. We're gonna step up and then go 15 feet this way.
Okay.
So
Stop for a
right
second.
there.
As you kind of make your way into this space, you see 4 pillars.
Fuck.
Around
Oh,
the
no,
pillars
pillars.
are bright silver chains that are kind of wrapped from floor to ceiling. And then across the way, you see another massive stalactite that's hanging from the ceiling. And again, there are no other stalactites present here. So if you had to venture a guess, it's probably another one of these creatures.
Damn.
All right. So that
It's
said,
like playing Avran all over again.
well, you're in a safe position from this one.
Okay.
Astrogoth, you are up.
Do the doot.
Yeah, you know it. Unfortunately, I have, with my super limited spell slots, I just want to kind of save what I have, but...
Yeah. That makes sense.
Did
The first one hits, the second one bounces off the armor. As you kind of smash into its mouth, it kind of turns its attention aside to kind of take it on the chin, so to speak. But it'll take that 10 damage from the first blow. Alright, Astrogoth done. Cassia, you're up.
did I ever get a potion?
Yeah, everybody got a potion of advantage.
No. The healing potion. Oh shit. Okay.
Cassia.
Castia will step into the doorway. Nobody currently being chewed on by the roper. So we will do my other beloved spell. Let me see if I have the spell template here. Gonna cast me some Moonbeam. I don't think I...
Oh, yeah.
There should be a template. You should be able to just drag and drop that bad boy. Yep.
Okay, there it is. I guess I can't exactly drop it on the center of
It's
it because
5 foot radius, right?
Yeah, so I guess... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll do that, and then let me... Do I have the... Yeah, so...
Okay. Cassia, anything else?
I will then duck right back around here.
Okay. It seems to be formidably kind of straining itself against the moonbeam when they put it in the map layer.
Yeah.
But it doesn't move out of it. It definitely looks like it resisted the damage. It just still took it, though. Just half of it.
Yeah.
And then on its initiative, it's going to throw its tendrils out towards Astrogoth. The one that remains that was kind of knocked away from Orlandis.
I'm gonna ask a really
Sure.
a really shitty question. It's probably gonna make you mad, but what about the tendril when it emerges into said moonbeam?
Yeah, great question. It is not a creature.
Okay.
It is an object. It needs to be specifically targeted.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to take
Okay.
the run. But no,
Convenient.
Bad question. No, genuinely, it states it as follows. It's
Yeah,
treated as an
it does
object.
say when a creature. Okay,
And
yeah.
you're assessed
Okay.
creature.
Yep.
You're
The
a
tendril
creature.
flares out, 23 to hit against Astrogoth. It immediately kind of wraps itself from kind of head down around him, coiling him. Instead of pulling him in towards it, though, it immediately drags Lose across the floor. You are not gravitated upwards yet. It just kind of drags you through the water and then kind of pulls you into the room. And as it's kind of doing that, its head kind of arcs back like a banana. And its eyes stare straight down at you, and its mouth kind of opens up. Its tongue kind of loosely kind of hangs in its mouth, and saliva just kind of droops down onto you.
That's disgusting.
We're in danger.
I'm here for
I'm
visuals.
in danger.
I am
Oh,
here
no.
for fucking cool visuals, and that's all. That's all I can do. Glint, you are up. You definitely watched Lose just dragged across the floor. Yeah, you're up. Muted. Chat, you're muted.
Yep, he runs in. So what? That's like 5, 10, 15.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
And then
Sorry. Hold on. Apologies. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Olandis, as you kind of rush out there and see the other one, you watch as it does the same thing that the other one did. Its eye opens up and tendrils flare out from it.
Oh, okay.
All 4 of them flare out at you, and you're
Yep.
able to block them with your shield and kind of press your back against the stone as it kind of like doesn't get its wrap around you.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
Just
Um,
your AC is high. It wasn't surprised. You weren't
High.
surprised by it, so we're just gonna loop to Flint, finishing your turn. You move 15 in.
right, and
This
if I
ain't
move
that
here,
kinda
how
anime.
far away is it from me?
It's 20, or it's on the ceiling, and it's about 10 feet tall. So it's 40 feet off of the ground is the ceiling. So it's about 30 feet above you.
Okay, so let me see here. That was 5, 10, 15. 20. You said it's 20 feet above me?
No, 30 feet above you. It's 40 feet off of the ground as its base, and then it's 10 feet long.
Okay, so trying to do the math here.
Sure.
Because I should have enough movement, I just need to move properly.
You have 15 feet of movement left, right?
Right, but if instead of moving, if I move straight from this square to this square, okay, it won't let me do that.
No, you can't diagonal move
Just-
through the hard corner. You have to move in and then down.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15.
20. You have to move in and then down because it's a narrower passage.
Right, but I can also I don't need to move into that square. So 5, 10, 15, and then I can move 20 feet up the wall.
Yep.
And then I will be within.
5 feet of a 25-foot high creature, which is not it. It's 30 feet up. You're outside of
Right.
it. You're 10 feet away from it.
But if I have 10 feet of reach, can I hit it?
Yeah, if you have 10 feet of reach.
Okay, whip dagger it is.
All right.
So as I'm Belmonting this motherfucker.
Whoosh.
Yeah. So as he like starts running
Swing
up the
it.
wall, he pulls out his whip dagger
Swing them
and
both. 2 attacks.
make 2 attacks against it. And then with my bonus action, I'm going to try to move it again. Because I can't offhand with my other thing.
Yeah,
so,
already rolled a strength save. 25 is not gonna.
Okay. First attack with whip dagger.
Yeah.
That's a 20. That's I'm gonna re-roll that damage.
Sure.
Not much better, but we'll take it. So that's 8.
Mm-hmm.
Second attack with the whip dagger. That's
Yes.
13.
All right. Balgar, you're up.
Slow. I cast slow.
Okay, you're doing it on the
So
ceiling.
that, yeah.
Okay, nobody's in the effect
And-
other than the creature. And
Either way, it's up to. So I would choose just the
fair.
creature as a target.
It's wisdom save, right?
Wisdom.
I got a 17.
No, you didn't.
I'll copy and paste it if you want me
I'm sorry. Dude. I'm kidding. As a bonus action, I'll give magical inspiration to Cassia.
to. Okay. Bardic Inspiration on Cassia. Alright, so let's just check and see what we've got in the aftermath because it's 10 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and cycle through. We'll finish this fight at the beginning of next session. Bardic Inspiration on Cassia, we'll denote that with a red marker for Blaze Ashen. Then we've got any other standing current concentration effects in place.
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam. Bear with me here. I'm going to go ahead and move into the...
Yeah, I cast slow and you cheated.
I am going...
Yeah, that is an ongoing effect. Yeah.
I am going to miss you. Okay. And Moonbeam is currently, it's been cast. It hasn't actually gone through cycle, so it's 1 minute.
Yeah. So it should have 9 rounds left, I believe.
Alright. Good call on the grappling. In actuality, though, there is... no, there isn't. That is restraint. And then I have Astragoth in that same state. Alright. Anything else? Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and pick up next session then, with the fight continuing from where we're at. Thank you for watching those that did, and we'll see you next week. Yeah.